Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Friday. My voice still sounds kind of fucked up, but it's not.
Yeah, we're still kind of
It's
fucked up.
not as bad.
Yeah.
As it was. I haven't been coughing all day, so that's something.
I've been getting a little bit better, but
it's really kind of hanging around, isn't it?
I thought I was getting like a lung infection. Just kept coughing and coughing. Weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I didn't really cough too much today. This morning I did, but I haven't coughed too much like during the day. You know?
Yep. So today is fucking Friday.
Yes, it is.
And this is the beginning of the weekend. Going out to the club tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dimitri's going to be meeting us there with his wife. He said it's going to be like hanging out like old days. I'm like, yeah, fucking good. I guess it's because his daughter moved out of the house, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess so. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, she's grown now, so.
What's that?
She's grown now.
Yeah, she's grown now, so now he can come back out. And, yeah, so it's Open Lines Friday. Anything you guys want to talk about, you can just drop it in the comment section. And we'll go back over any old cases, or if you have any questions about anything. You know, it's always regulars anyway on Sidetracks anyway.
Yeah, and like I said, asking too much about cases, don't get too excited about that, because I don't remember shit.
Yeah. Shit, our memories are pretty good, though. Our memories are pretty good. Usually when people ask us about things, it's pretty general, like opinion of what we would think and shit like that.
Which, yeah, I can do that. But it's like, don't ask me to, like, pull facts out of my ass.
Everybody's saying hi. What's everybody saying?
Okay. American Military says, may I recommend a topic for your polls? Yes, you may. The UK's Colin Pitchfork, serial killer whose 1986 trial is notable for being the first case convicted using DNA. Yeah, I'd actually heard of that guy, but I didn't really know that much about him. But I will for sure write that down, and I will put it in the next one. CB says, Tom, it could just be old age catching up to you after a night of partying and a month of recovering. No, not so much, because like I said, I got it too.
Yeah.
And we go out and party every weekend, and we don't usually have this problem.
Yeah, and I'm on so much gear, I recover instantly. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I mean, yeah, we're old and stuff, but honestly, like I said, last weekend we went out Friday night and Saturday night, and I was tired on Sunday, but not any more tired than I am when we just go Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was all right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, I fucking always test and shit. Test and Ecopose or fucking Nandrolone or whatever stack I'm on at the time. I can shake it off pretty quickly. I'm about like I was when I was in my 20s. Count
Rolex says, Tom, how do you like them figure skating pics I sent?
Figure skating pics? Oh, yeah. It was fucking... Oh, shit. It was fucking Steven Seagal, and who else was it? Figure skating together? It was fucking funny. I forgot who the other one was. It was fake photography, but
was it Chuck Norris?
Yeah, Chuck Norris or something.
Because I saw somebody photoshopped one that was Chuck Norris, but he was like surfing on Steven Seagal. Yeah. Like Steven Seagal was the surfboard. Chuck Norris. Yeah. Like I did see one like that, because I guess they're saying that Steven Seagal is very buoyant.
Yeah.
I guess is what they were applying.
Fucking Steven Seagal. He's a relic of the 90s.
Yeah. He still hasn't showed up at our house to kick our asses yet.
Yeah. I heard you were talking about me. Talking about my weight. You think it's real funny? He's got a fucking carrot in his Chinese fucking shirt with his carrot. God, that guy's fucking ridiculous. He doesn't realize it, though.
He doesn't seem to.
I don't think he realizes it, no.
You know what I mean?
I don't think Putin... I think Putin realized it.
Well, I don't see how you
had him
not
over.
Realize it.
Yeah, Putin had him over for a couple of events, and he'd be seeing fucking Steven Seagal doing shit that, and fucking Putin be back there smiling like, this dude's a fucking clown. Yeah. It's fucking funny, man. We grew up at a weird time when some shit like that would fly. And you could suspend your disbelief.
And everyone thought he was an actual badass.
Yeah, everybody thought he was an actual badass.
Well, not everyone.
I was in the army at the time on a mission in fucking Egypt for the MFO mission, watching fucking Under Siege. And somebody says, yeah, he used to be a Navy SEAL. I said, really? And fucking, I actually believe that shit. was going, okay, yeah, there might be something to that. Because some of those guys in those movies were ex-military, you know?
Yeah, it's like not
It's
impossible.
not totally impossible. Although,
But
I saw his arms, and I was like, those arms aren't very conditioned. You know? And then I saw another movie. Somebody put in another movie a couple weeks later. I think it might have been Hard to Kill or something like that. And he was running. And when I saw him running, I went, no.
that's not a Navy SEAL.
No, that dude's never been in the military. 'Cause he ran like a bitch. He ran like
He
a
has the
bitch. Arms
funniest
flapping.
run. And I'm not a runner, but it's
and
like,
just-
even I don't look that dorky.
Just ran like a bitch. And I was going, no, that dude's never fucking run in his life. No. No. That's like what you run from. You run that way for the first time. Yeah.
Like if you've
Then
never
like
run
3
before.
or 4 miles later, then you don't run like that because you just start getting real efficient, you know. Yeah, yeah, that was like some shit. He just, can you run? Yeah, I can run. And he did it on camera and fucking. Other people evidently noticed that motherfucker runs like a bitch.
They were probably all like behind the camera going,
What the fuck? Yeah, his
does he
arms
know he
flapping.
looks like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we tell him? No, he'll sit on us.
No way a Navy SEAL runs like that. Navy SEALs can run. Yeah.
Count Orlock also says, hey, I listened to your Connie Converse episode. Really good. Thank you very much. And I recommend doing a show about Graham Parsons. Yeah, I think you recommended that before because I think I remember writing it down before. So yeah, I definitely did put it on the list.
Yeah, our regulars request the strangest shit. I would never fucking would have done the Cody show, but people wanted it.
Yeah,
And it is filling a hole somewhere.
there's not a lot about her.
Not a lot about her.
Like
yeah.
there was a couple other like channels had done stuff about her, but not that many.
Yeah.
And like I said, I probably wouldn't have heard about her if Zach hadn't
I've
said
never heard of her. Yeah.
about something about it. Because I'm not, I know a lot about certain kind of music, but I'm not real up on like the folk music scene, I guess.
Pretty sure she committed suicide.
Yeah, I think so too.
And
Like
erased all
I hope
traces.
she didn't, but I think she
I think that's
probably
what happened.
did.
She erased all traces of herself and then committed suicide somewhere.
Yeah. And I think she did it just because she didn't want them to know
Yeah.
that that's what she did.
She made herself
like she didn't
disappear.
want to upset them.
Yeah. I think she sold her car off legally and everything and ended up taking a fucking ticket somewhere and went out the middle of nowhere and did herself in.
CB said I watched Weapons today. It was a strange film. I really liked
Yeah.
Weapons. It was like actually my favorite horror, or my second favorite horror movie of last year. Bring Her Back was actually my favorite, but Weapons was my second favorite.
It's funny how much attention Weapons got that year. It's a sign of how weak Hollywood is. That small independent films overshadowed everything Hollywood did.
Well, they were better.
They were better, yeah. But
I mean,
just
that's
shows
what people wanted to see.
Yeah, but during a strong year, 15 years ago, that movie wouldn't have been noticed. Not by the mainstream.
I mean, probably not. Like horror fans
Horror
would have still
yeah.
dug it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that one kind of escaped containment a little bit.
Yeah. It just goes to show you how bad Hollywood
Kind
is.
of like Sinners did. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, Sinners was great. That would have been forgotten 10 years ago. Wouldn't have gotten any attention. It's just a sign of the weakness of the system. But not to say that those are bad movies. They're good movies. It's just that it's funny how well-made, independent type artisan flicks are rising to the top. It's because the swill that Hollywood makes nowadays just
well, I think people are just kind of tired of
that shit. Yeah.
these billion-dollar superhero movies. It's fatigue. It's like, yeah, we've seen that. They're all kind of similar. Like I said, some of them were good or entertaining or whatever, but it's like we've already seen that.
Yeah.
So I think people are looking for something a little bit different, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Counter Orlock says a prequel to Weapons is apparently in production about Aunt Gladys. Yeah, I heard that. I would watch that. That was a great character. Yeah. Grafter says Seagal liked to play Stolen Valor games about being an operator in the CIA.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
Which of course they cannot deny or confirm.
He's a total liar.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust anything that came out of his
No.
mouth, honestly,
No.
at this stage, because so much of what he said is bullshit that you can't.
He's a
really trust.
pathological liar.
Yeah, like he's just one of those dudes that the type. It's just
Yeah.
always like they have to self-aggrandize. It's like it was easier to do back then because you couldn't check as easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's not lying for professional reasons. Evidently, he's like that in his personal life. He's a pathological liar.
Yeah. Which is weird. It's like
Yeah.
It just seems like so much work.
Yeah.
But I guess they don't think about it like that.
No, he's having fun. He's gotten half of Russia pregnant. Yeah. Think of that. He does. He's got like a whole bunch of Russian girls pregnant. Got all kinds of kids and shit. Lives in Russia now, I think.
Yeah, I thought he did too.
He's running from charges, I think.
Well, yeah.
I think running from sexual assault charges, I think, and lawsuits.
Yeah, which, you know, gosh, that doesn't make him look innocent at all, does it?
No.
The fact that he fled the fucking country.
Yeah.
CB said, what do you guys think about the Long Island serial killer pleading guilty to murdering 7 women? I thought it was 8.
I heard that, something about
But,
that.
yeah, like that.
I don't know much about it.
Yeah, he's, that ogre-looking dude. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I guess that's good that he pled guilty.
Yeah, that was that. One of the victims called him an ogre, right?
Yeah.
Referred to him as that ogre.
He does look like an ogre.
Yeah.
Well, so that was like part of her description of him, like before they knew who he was.
Yeah.
And then when they caught him, they're like, "Oh, I see what she was getting at." Okay.
Well, wasn't she killed?
Oh well, no, I don't remember. Like I said, don't like try to do facts. That was a long time ago. We did that show.
Yeah.
And it's like I thought that one of the people that, because I thought he had assaulted some that.
Yeah,
he didn't kill.
I thought it was something along the lines where a girl who ended up getting killed that night before she went on that date said she was going on a date with an ogre.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Something like that.
Because I knew she told somebody.
He's this ogre-looking dude.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah.
He looks more like an ogre than probably any other person I've seen.
Yeah, big old ogre. How was he killing him?
I don't remember offhand. Probably. That seems like the general MO.
Yeah.
David Brown says, you should do an episode on Andrew Luster, heir to Max Factor Cosmetic Empire, who was arrested, fled to Mexico, and captured by Dog the Bounty Hunter, jailed for drugging and assaulting several women.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
You would think that would be fake. You would actually think that would be fake, but that dude actually was doing that, and they did, and there was a show.
Yeah.
With his wife and shit. His wife with the big belly, the big titties, big fake titties.
I never watched that show.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen him and stuff, but it's like, I've never watched that
He was
ever.
the most white trash bounty hunter of all time. So fucking mega mullet.
He leaned into that branding, didn't he?
Mega mullet. Fucking white frizzy, fucking blonde frizzy mullet. I think he was kind of jacked if I remember. And
I just kind of vaguely remember what his face looked like, but I don't remember what his body looked like.
He looked like a wrestler.
I never looked at him
He looked like a small
for that
wrestler.
long, so I don't really know. I get him and Tiger King mixed up.
Yeah, he was kind of like that. Along the same lines. He had a whole crew of guys that would help him. They were bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Guys who were, what do they call them? Skip tracers. People that were fucking...
Yeah.
Runner, fucking broke bond. And his wife, I think, helped manage most of it. Doing all the paperwork and all the investigation, and they go down there. And then fucking Cartman from off of South Park, fucking, him the dog, he's the big bad dog. Remember the song and shit? It's fucking funny.
Yeah, I probably know more about it from South Park than I do
South
from
Park,
the actual show.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oracle is here. Steven Seagal wishes he was as cool as Crustle, but he never will be. I mean, to be fair, probably none of us will ever be as cool as Crustle, but I've accepted that reality. You know what I mean? Granther says, I read one of the conditions of the Long Island Killer's plea is he will agree to meet with the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. I don't know what the hell they think this ogre can offer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess any information is valuable, but at this stage, they've caught so many of these motherfuckers that it's like you'd think they'd figured it out by now. What makes these people tick.
One thing I must say about Seagal is that he is amazing in a way that he was able to do what he did for the amount of time that he did, and that And the trip thing is that he still has a fan base. It must be a very small and hardcore fan base, but they still have people that fucking like him and read his books. Now, I don't know how much of it is ironically.
I'm sure some of it.
Yeah, because there's one guy he was making a video of his Steven Seagal collection. He was on YouTube, and it was kind of ironic.
Yeah, I know what guy you're talking about.
Yeah, Steven Seagal.
The guy that does videos with the Angry Video Game Nerd.
I think so, yeah. He all these Steven Seagal action figures.
Yeah, he's got all
posters,
the shit, all the movies and stuff. I mean, he likes them, but it's kind of an ironic like he knows they're not good.
Yeah.
So I think he kind of thinks it's
after
funny.
a certain point, there were no good Steven Seagal movies. They weren't even bad and entertaining. They were just extremely boring, and he's not in them. A lot of times, he's not really in them.
Which is probably for the best.
That's some wild shit. I'm gonna make a movie. I'm gonna do this and that, but here's the thing: I'm not gonna be in it.
I'm gonna sit over here and eat donuts. Y'all make
other people can voice in. You voice me over. Here, just get a shot of me. No, use the double.
It's like, no, never mind. I'm going back to my trailer.
There's not much of him in it. Probably like 2 seconds of fucking Steven Seagal in the damn movie.
Here, just film me from the nose up.
From the nose up, yeah. I don't have time. I don't have time to be in.
Actually, from here to here.
Yeah, I don't have.
So you can't see his hairline.
I don't have time to be in my own movie. That's some shit. When you don't.
He's too busy impregnating.
I'm so busy. I don't have time to be in my
Russian
own movie.
teenagers.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Klaus and Tanya are here.
What's
hey,
up,
you guys. Klaus asked, "What's the topic?" You know, it's Friday. There's no topic on Friday.
It's Friday. There's no topic.
We just talk about.
We were talking about Steven Seagal.
And Klaus says, "Did you listen to the music, Thomas?"
No, I didn't have time. I just got it.
One of these days.
I'll listen to it. I didn't have time.
DVD Dragon says, "Did you hear about the doctor that got convicted of trying to throw his wife off a cliff? He was an anesthesiologist trying to inject her with a syringe and attempting to push her off the cliff."
Damn.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it was just an attempt, but holy shit. However, I will say that I always wonder why more people that want to knock off their spouses don't, like, go on a vacation and, like, have them accidentally fall off a cliff.
Well, actually, there was a guy who just did that a couple days ago, right?
I thought that was a cruise ship.
Yeah, going off a cruise ship. Or
I mean, that's happened.
Or something.
That's happened.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that people don't accidentally fall off of cruise ships. They do.
They got cameras everywhere, too, though.
But, yeah. So I feel like cruise ship, you're kind of skating on thin ice. Because, like I said, everything's recorded. If you go out in the wilderness and the mountains, it's like, yeah, they could fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying I'm surprised it doesn't happen.
There's cameras and everything. Just like that dude that just got the death penalty killing that 7-year-old girl. That fucking Federal Express driver.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
They had it on camera. There's a camera
the
right
whole
there.
thing.
He didn't know.
I don't understand that, man. Because like I said, I think I was talking about this before. There's a
you know there was a camera in the truck?
There's a true crime show. They have it on it's on HBO Max. And it's called See No Evil, I think. And it's all about where CCTV footage was like the main thing that helped the person get caught. And I was just kind of like, do these assholes not know that like most businesses have cameras? A lot of houses have Ring cameras. Yeah. Like all they have to do is subpoena the footage and they have like a fucking whole 360 of your whole shit.
Yeah.
They see your car, they see your face. Jesus Christ, dude. What are you doing?
They don't believe in cameras.
I guess not.
Yeah.
They don't think they're invisible or what? It's just that blows my fucking mind.
It's a flat Earth camera, believers. It's like flat Earth camera.
I also never understood too, and this happens a lot. Like even before cameras were as ubiquitous as they are now, like people would kill somebody and take their debit card. And then they'd go to an ATM and use the debit card. Yeah. And their big ass face is right there in the camera. Every ATM has a camera and has for years and years.
Yeah. Or they had that one serial killer who he just put something over his face and did it.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to do that, at least wear a fucking mask or something. Yeah. I mean, that's suspicious too, obviously. But they can't identify you. Mm-hmm. It was like, but no, it's their whole ass face right there in the camera. I'm like, there he is. Gee, wonder how he got that debit card. Jesus Christ. But, you know, I guess if they were smart, they wouldn't be criminals. Or they wouldn't have got caught. I'm not saying all criminals are dumb. I'm saying the dumb ones get caught, though. Let's see. Oracle says Dog the Bounty Hunter is only 5'7".
Yeah.
I mean, okay. And let me see. I got way behind somehow. Yeah, David Brown says Seagal was awful. Aikido is not a fighting martial art.
No.
It's defensive.
It's not even that.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Here's the thing. There's this soy ass fucking concept of things being offensive or defensive. In America, we don't really have that. Everything is defensive. An assault rifle is defensive. A fucking sword is defensive. A bomb could be defensive. It's just the application, you know. If you can't kill anybody with it, then how are you going to defend yourself with it? You know, we've tried this shit. It's been tried, tested, and true here in the United States. All those non-lethal fucking things, tasers, they don't work. They're barely. Not on a real attacker. Chemical weapons, you know, the fucking mace, those don't work very well either. It just depends on how badass that attacker is. Yeah, this shit hurts them, but they'll just continue to attack you.
Especially if they're hopped up on the goofball.
Yeah, and if they're jacked on drugs and shit, they don't give a shit. But some people, you know, they hit them with a taser and they'll go right down. Well, there wasn't much fight in that person. I've seen other people that hit the taser and they jump up and fucking pull those fucking things right out of them just to continue to attack.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It's
not
on
as
everybody.
effective on some people as on others.
And bullets don't work on some dudes. I saw a little Mexican dude probably take about 16 or 17 rounds of 9mm ammunition, and he was alive the whole time. And the cops just kept shooting him and shooting him.
They're like, "Are you a vampire? What the fuck?"
He kept getting back up. And they'd shoot him 2 or 3 times, and he'd get back up with that knife and start swinging that knife at those cops, and those cops would just back up and shoot him a couple more times.
Dude was mad.
He'd roll, and he'd get back up and shit, and he was just shot up all over his whole body. And I lost count. It had to have been 15 or 16 rounds.
Those cops were probably freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, it's the start of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
The dude's undead."
Yeah, they'd shot him in the chest and in the probably 15 or 16 times easily.
That's crazy.
Eventually, he just
he got so ventilated that he just fucking fell over.
Eventually, just so much torn up meat. But some people can get hit once with a little 22 round, and it just happens to get right in the right spot and fucking hit an artery, and their blood pressure fucking declines rapidly, and they lose consciousness.
Yeah, I saw one of those true crime shows about a guy who just got, like, another guy shot him at, like, the gas station, and he didn't shoot him, he shot him in the leg, but he nicked an artery, and he bled to death before anybody got there.
Yeah.
Like, right in the fucking gas station parking lot.
Even face shots and head shots don't mean much. People get shot in the face and it just goes underneath the face, goes underneath the brain, comes out the back, and it fucks up the person's sinuses and their teeth and shit like that, but they live. They continue to fight back. People have been shot through the head. It fucking rings their bell.
Well, yeah.
But depending on what it was and what it did, you know, like little 22 rounds, you know, go through the head, it's kind of like an ice pick wound. It didn't do a whole lot of damage. Person might end up dying later, but a long time later, so enough time where they could have killed you during that. So, you know, there's in the U.S. the way self-defense is if somebody attacks you, you can use force against them, as long as you believe that you're in imminent danger of great bodily harm, or if somebody else is, or if it's in your house. If somebody comes into your house, you can kill them in Florida. If someone fucking tries to get into your car when you're in it, you can kill that person. It's anti-carjacking laws and stuff. Castle doctrine laws. If somebody attacks you and you legally have the right to be in somewhere, you don't have to run. You can stand your ground and fight. So, you know, 'cause no one has the right to tell you to leave a space that you're in if you can legally occupy it. So you can defend yourself. And defense involves guns, bats, blades, anything, fists. If you're the attacker, you're fucked legally. That's all they have to prove is that you attacked. If you counterattack a person, that's called a defense. That's, in England, it wouldn't be that way. You're being attacked by a person. So, oh shit, I have to use some kind of defensive force. Well, what is defensive force? Well, I'm going to slap that person. Then that person kills you with a knife. You know what I mean? What is it? So it's not clearly defined. In the U.S., it's just you can use any force to defend yourself or others. It can be lethal.
CB says, yeah, there's a famous case of a woman disappeared from a cruise ship and it's still unsolved. Yeah, I know. I can't remember her name, but I know.
There's lots of those.
I know there's lots of them, but I think I know what one he's referring to. There's one that's kind of more famous than the others, but I can't remember what her name is.
There's lots of people have gone missing off of those things and they've never been found. They don't know what it is.
And like I said, I'm sure a significant percentage of them are murders.
Yeah.
However, I'm sure some of them are accidents as well. Because you get on a cruise ship, you get a little crazy, you get a little drunk, you fall overboard, and nobody notices, like in the middle of the night. And Gramther says, the story this week was the woman who fell off the dinghy while her husband near the Bahamas. I think that's kind of what I was thinking of. He later got arrested. They are from Onstead, Michigan, a small town half an hour from me. I think that was the one that I was thinking of, where they are pretty sure that he just like pushed her off the boat. I was
but I attacked Iran. I didn't attack Iran. Fucking the United States and Iran have basically been at war for 50 years. We've been in a state of war basically for 50 years. We can do whatever we want to them because we have more power than them. You're trying to moralize a world based on power dynamics, which is a childish way of looking at things, and it's the way a lot of people have been post World War II. They've been raised to believe in right and wrong. None of these nations believe in right and wrong. None of them do. It's all lies. They just believe in power. Who can do what to who has power and who doesn't. It's law of the jungle, and it's always been law of the jungle. They just paint a little icing over it to try to make it look pretty. But throughout all of America's history, even Biden would get on the phone and fucking force people to pay him money. There was a couple. We do that all the time. We fucking put the screws to fucking countries and say, you better pay up for, different things. Just anything, and it goes to people's fucking campaigns and shit. This is a world run by gangsters, and it's always been that way.
DVD Dragon says, a dildo can be a lethal weapon, especially with no flared base.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a couple of dildos that would absolutely be
Yeah.
if it was inserted in the right places.
We were in the business for a while. We had to have shit that looked good on camera.
I have all kind of crazy shit.
Yeah. Shit that you could never put into something.
I mean, yeah.
Big horse fucking shit. Just anything. Because you can make a video with that.
Weird, like, tentacle looking thing with big ridges and all this other kind of shit. It's, like, pretty silly.
It's all in the mind.
What is? No, it's in the ass.
Yeah, that too. But
I'm
saying sexuality's in the mind. Certain people like the way certain things look and fucking,
Yeah, and like I said, I kind of admire, like, people that can get something that big in their butt.
Yeah, they have some size queens out there. Yeah.
But, that takes a lot of practice, man. Yeah, I was like, when they were talking about, what was that, something he said earlier that, Counterlock says, there was a woman missing here in my hometown for over a year, and they found her buried under the concrete of some jackass's garage floor. He accidentally shot her. Yeah. That sounds really likely. I was just watching, I like that People Magazine Investigates show, and like I said, that's still on, and they put new ones up, like, I don't remember what nights they do it, but they put new ones up on HBO Max, like, on Tuesday or Wednesday or something. And the last one was this woman, and she was a single mom, and she had an 8-year-old son, and she had a boyfriend. He was married, so that was kind of a whole thing, and they thought maybe he had something to do with it. She went missing for a while, like 2 weeks, I think it was. And she also was in business with this guy who was like a chef, or he already had a restaurant, and she wanted to invest in the restaurant. So she had invested a bunch of money, and they were like business partners. And she went missing. Nobody knew where she was. And then like 2 weeks later, they found her like buried under the dirt, and then there were like all these pallets like outside, like behind this warehouse or something like that. And they thought that the boyfriend did it at first because, like I said, they'd had a big fight like before she disappeared. He was married, all this other kind of shit. But it turned out the business partner did it because she had been giving him money, and I guess he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing with it. Like, he was just blowing it instead of like investing it into the business, like the restaurant, like she thought that they were doing. And I guess he thought she was gonna find out. And the dude like picked up her kid from school that day and everything. Actually, I'm gonna say though, in this case, the kid was kind of a hero because when the dude picked him up from school, he was like, "Why do you have my mom's phone?" You know what I mean? Like, he remembered, and he told the police later. It's like, yeah, I thought it was weird. And he was 8. And he's like, I knew it was my mom's phone because it had a picture of him on it, like the kid, you know what I mean? And he's like, why do you have my phone? Oh, I just picked it up by accident. And the kid was like, I don't think so, bro. And I was like, man, go kid. I mean, sadly the kid had to grow up without a mom because she got murdered, but like, jeez. Yeah, he was. And like they said, they didn't say exactly. They said that he was special needs, but I don't know and he had went to a special school, but I don't know what they didn't say, like what the special needs were, you know what I mean? But I was like, the fact that he just noticed that and thought that was really sus. Like at 8 years old, he's like, why does this motherfucker have my dad's phone? Have my mom's phone? Like he knew who he was because he picked him up from school. They were friends, you know what I mean? But he just thought it was really strange. And he did actually tell the cops that later on when they were. So I was like, that's gut kid, you know what I mean? But yeah, I watched that last night, and then remember I said other day that Tubi, I found like a whole bunch of really cool like music documentaries because I kind of went off on a kick on those, and I watched one about the birthday party, and then I watched one about the Smiths, and then I watched one about Joy Division, and they also had one about the Damned, and I was watching that one. That one was from like 2013. I can't remember what the name of it was. But I was like, it was shot between 2011 and 2013, I think. And like some of it was like their 35th anniversary tour. And I was always like always really liked The Damned. And I feel like they didn't really get the recognition that a lot of other punk bands of the era got, even though they were kind of the first ones to do a lot of stuff. Like they were the first punk band to release a single. Like in the UK, they were the first punk band to play in the US at CBGB's. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of the other bands got, and I'm gonna say that a lot of the band members, particularly Rat Scabies, are very, very bitter about that. He was real fucking bitter about him. He's an old man now, but the other ones were kind of bitching about, but kind of being funny. Like they were a lot more chill. But yeah, Rat Scabies, he was just kind of like, fuck all. It's like, the fucking Sex Pistols and the Clash, and they made all this money, and it's like we did shit before them and all this other. So he is still very salty about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was really good. And then I started watching, if you guys know the 80s horror documentary In Search of Darkness, there was a part 1 and then there was a part 2, and I didn't realize that they made a part 3, and they have it on Shudder. So I started watching that last night too, but it's like 6 hours long. So I only got up to like about, and it's cool because so many horror movies that were cool like came out in the 80s that they never run out of movies to talk about. Like these ones are slightly more obscure, but not really. But it's like, it's a cool fucking series. They made one for the 90s too. And Shudder has the one that's, I think it's 1994 to 2000 or 1994 to 1999. And there's another one that's 1990 to 1994, but that it isn't licensed anywhere. I don't know why. I mean, I'll probably watch the 90s one too, even though I'm not as into 90s horror. But I don't know why they don't have the first part of the 90s one. That's dumb as shit. CB says, Jenny, you should do a Wednesday episode on British serial killer Robert Napper, one of the UK's most batshit killers. Okay, I'm going to write that one down too. Man, you guys are coming up with all kind of good shit. That name is not familiar. Like, I feel like I know more British serial killers than the average American, but I don't think I've ever heard that name. And I saw somebody mention a movie called The Bloody Judge with Christopher Lee, so I wrote that down too. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all the shit I've been watching. So I don't know. Maybe it was over the weekend. I'll watch the rest of that horror movie documentary because those are always fun. They get a lot of people to do shit for those. Yeah, Oracle says the real question is if the kids have enough self-confidence to take action based on their BS radar going off. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just kind of, they didn't talk to the kid. I mean, he's grown now, obviously, but he was only 8 at the time. But I just thought that was really cool that he just thought that was strange and kind of filed that away. And then when they were questioning him about the dude, she was like, yeah, he had my mom's phone. And they had noticed, because they even had, like, body cam footage of them going in the house, because the guy that killed her was the guy, I'm pretty sure he was the one that reported her missing. Because he was like, man, I haven't seen her in, like, a few days. She's my business partner, blah, blah, blah. So he went with them to go in the house, like, to do a welfare check. And so they have, like, all this thing and him just being like, man, like, it looks okay in here and all this other kind of shit. And they found one phone. He's like, no, that's her work phone. Like, her personal phone doesn't look like that. And so he was, like, and, like, when you find out later that he was the one that killed her, I'm like, man, that dude was, like, really fucking chill. Like, just the whole time he's walking around, like, acting totally normal. That freaks me out so bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, he denied it, but they had all this evidence. Like, they found the dirt that he had buried her in, like, in his truck, and cadaver dogs on his truck, and you know what I mean? And all that stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna answer Klaus's question. Klaus is talking about the law and civilian law and fucking American law. The thing, when I was talking about self-defense, and that has to do with American civilian law, and that's always at the state level. So that's not really gonna be the same in every state. But if you're in the southern states, in general, it's like what I told you. Some of the other states up in Yankeedom and shit, they're not quite like that. They're more like something you would find in Europe. But in the South, that's the way it is. Now, if you're talking about, if that's the law, how can America attack a country, like Iran? When you're talking about the executive branch, they don't have to follow any kind of law. They don't even have to follow international law. They can do whatever they want. Now, you can say, well, they have to abide by these international laws. But if you look at the fine print in those international laws, there are always institutions that the United States funds. So it's always shit we control. That's all things that we put in place after World War II to ensure American hegemony as the world's policeman. So we are international law. We can do whatever we want. It's a crooked system because we put it in there. And Germany was going to do the same thing had the Germans won. Had Hitler fucking won, they were going to have their own version of international law and a world court and all that shit right out of Germania. And had the Soviet Union taken over Eastern Europe and fucking taken over the world, they would have had their own version of it. But as far as the West is concerned, the United States is the policeman for now. Do I like that? No. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of time and money. I think the United States basically should be kind of isolationist. I think it's a waste of time and money. Who cares what other countries do? As long as we get our supplies and the raw materials we need so we can make products here or we can buy products here. You don't want to be dependent on any of these other fuckers either, you know what I mean? Then I think we should really keep our nose out of it, which that's originally what the country is supposed to be doing. But there's too many foreigners involved. It's at the very top parts of the United States, all the fucking ruling class and the oligarchs that control the government, they're also kind of European. They're kind of bred in with each other into the British royal system and shit too. So until we untangle the ruling class from the rest of the world, it's going to be like this. It's going to take a long time to get them out of there. But America really doesn't need to be doing any of this. They're just making money off it. That's the only reason why they're doing it. They're not doing it for anything good.
David Brown says, did you see that a man in Ontario, California burned down the warehouse he worked at because they did not pay a living wage? I did see that, yes. While I'm not a fan of destroying property, I could see why the dude was mad.
Yeah, arson. Arson. The minimum in most states is 5 years for arson.
Yeah, he just was...
He's going to get 15 years.
He was sick of it, I guess. You know what I mean?
It's not worth it.
Just sick of it. It's really not.
It's not worth it.
I can see why
Just
you'd be
quit
mad.
your job.
But,
Just quit your job.
Camp Guy says, oh, wait a minute. O'Connor Orlock says, another great show would be about the American presidents before George Washington. I learned about that from Prince.
Before George Washington?
Camp Guy, I'm not a fanboy, but Herb Baumeister is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Favorite serial killers.
Yeah, that's a weird fucker.
Funny as hell that the next door neighbor kids told the Popo that they say a bunch of rib cages in the local retention pond. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, the little kids that know. They're out there.
Well, yeah, like digging through
I saw
shit.
in human rib cages.
They're like, don't be alarmed, but there's all kind of skeletons
Like, oh, stop
out
telling
there,
tales.
They're like, no, for real.
Yeah. The little kids would know.
They probably would. I feel like most little boys, especially like back then, it wouldn't even occur to them to call the cops. They'd be just like, skull, cool.
Skulls, look at the human rib cages.
Wow.
There. Yeah.
Creepy.
Dead people.
They'd be picking them up and be like,
dead people.
You know what I mean?
What are you doing, Poke?
Stop it, Pokey.
No. She starts crying.
She always makes little...
Yeah.
She has the funniest little voice.
Man, I hit my hip.
She came in Tom told me she ran in the bedroom like he was in there. And
I was playing video games.
He was playing video games and she was sitting on the bed. Is that what you said?
Behind me. She goes, yeah. She's sitting on the bed behind me and she goes, and
you were like,
runs.
What?
I was like, what the fuck? And then I got killed on the game and went, I said, what the fuck's she doing? And she was out there fucking throwing up. And it's like going, she's throwing up.
I was like, look at her go.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot.
She was trying to tell me.
She was like, I'm in a barf.
Yeah. All right.
She almost made it to the floor, but no, she still barfed on the carpet.
So, not yesterday, but the day before in the morning, woke up in the morning and found Beijing dead, laying on the ground.
Our little beige has crossed the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, she's been sick for a long time. She's almost 20.
Yeah, she's 19 years old.
Yeah.
We knew that that it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, she was only eating egg yolks and stuff, and she wouldn't eat much. She's losing a bunch of weight. And
she didn't seem... I mean, the vet said she wasn't in any pain or anything like that, but she just seemed like...
She was happy.
Yeah, she just seemed like, man, fuck this shit.
And then like there was like a 3 or 4 day period where she was getting weaker and weaker. She kept asking to go outside. And she'd go outside, she'd just start walking off a straight line and say, hey, come here, where you going? And I don't think her vision was too good. And then she'd walk out and try to walk around the house and then lay in the flower beds and say, come on, let's get out of here. I think she was kind of walk off and die.
Yeah, because I had a cat do that when I was younger.
And then I put her back in the house and woke up the next morning and she was laying on the tiles, out fucking outside the kitchen, near where the back door was. It looked like she died while she was sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, she went peacefully.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's the thing.
Like,
like,
out there and buried her, laid her to rest. She was all rigor mortis, so she'd been there for at least 3 hours.
It had been overnight, yeah.
At least 3 hours, yeah.
But like, but I'm glad that she at least like didn't. It wasn't at the vet. She didn't go get put down or anything like that. She just kind of died in her sleep. But like I said, we knew that was coming because, like I said, the last few days we knew she wasn't gonna last much longer. But like I said, she was 19 years old, and I mean, you had Beijing before I even met you.
Mm-hmm. I got Beijing from a horse girl, crazy little teenage horse girl named Crystal. Oh, excuse me, Candace. Candace. She goes, look at this cat. Tom, take this cat. They're going to kill it. And I was like, what? Yeah, there's so many
Not
of
on
them.
my
They're going
watch.
to kill it. And I says, all right, let's give me that cat.
Give me that cat.
It was a little bitty kitten. Little bitty fuzzy kitten. So I took it. She was one of the students there. And she's still around. Fucking, I still got Candace on my friends list. She's now fucking shit, almost in her 30s now.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny. She lives in England. She's fucking training horses in England. And she's an English equestrian fucking rider. And that was when I was a bar manager. That was a long time before I was running a bar, fucking training horses and shit. And I took Beijing, and I got her on the day of the Beijing Olympics, the opening of the Beijing Olympics. That's why,
That's why.
So I called her Beijing. And she was probably about a couple weeks old.
Yeah, she was a kitten. Like I said, I think by the time I met you, she was already 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a little kitten.
Maybe a little bit older.
Yeah. She was she wasn't like Pookie though. She was very aloof. She wasn't in your face. She didn't really need people. She just walked around acting pretty.
Being pretty.
Yeah, she just thought she was the prettiest cat. She was pretty. Super pretty. Furry, pretty kitty. And she just walked around like, I'm so fucking
like Paris
pretty.
Hilton.
Yeah. She's just super snotty and pretty. And she'd just blow you off like, oh. You know?
Peasant.
Yeah.
Which I feel like people that don't like cats or are not familiar with cats think they're kind of all like that.
Yeah.
But our other 2 cats are not like that.
No, the other ones aren't like that.
At all.
No, but Beige didn't need anything.
Yeah.
She was just totally like to be on her own. You say hi to her, she says, hey, how you doing? She'd let you pet her, but then she wouldn't come seek you out.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, you could pet her and stuff, but then she'd be like, all right, that's enough.
Fuck it. Yeah. And she walked around like she was just the prettiest kitty of all times, which she was. She was super pretty.
Yeah. She's a rag doll.
Yeah, ragdoll kitty. In her final week, she started to look kind of matted, and I'm going, that cat's dying.
Yeah, we knew she was.
I could tell she wasn't grooming
herself as much, yeah.
And she would be next to her little plate, and she would just lay down and stare right at the wall, like she was blind.
Yeah.
I said, "How you doing? You okay?" She wouldn't react, and I'd touch her, and she'd go, "How? You okay?" Yeah. And then she'd go back to staring at the wall.
Yeah, just chilling out.
She was senile.
Yeah.
She was a little bit senile.
But like I said, 19, that's pretty old for a cat.
Yeah, she was a little bit blind and a little bit senile.
But, But yeah, like, it's just funny how different the personalities were. Yeah. Well, even Pookie and Bambi have completely different personalities. Now, they're both little needy kitties. Yeah. Like, they will just be up in your shit, like, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? I need to get involved somehow.
Beige wasn't. Beige would sit on a windowsill all fucking day and look out.
Yeah, she wasn't like
and walk around.
A real, like, lovey lap kitty, like, yeah.
Real independent.
Whereas, like I said, the minute... Yeah. Well, Pookie is in Tom's face, like, pretty much all day.
Yeah.
And then when I go in the bedroom at night, she's just like, I have to put a blanket on my lap so she can come plop in my lap and just, like, lay there. You know what I mean? And then every now and then she'll turn around, step on your bladder, you know what I mean? It's pretty funny. But, yeah. So, it's kind of a bummer, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I might start to cry and then I won't be able to stop. And I already kind of lost it on the Connie Converse show when I was reading her note and everything like that. So that was before we even knew about that.
They're saying America was defeated in Iran. I don't really see how America was defeated in Iran. Who's telling you that? No Americans were killed. You have to kill a bunch of people to be defeated. And they're just fucking... They surrendered. They put a 10-point plan where they're going to surrender. And the country fell apart. We killed all their leadership. And then they started fucking attacking their allies, shooting off fucking missiles and shit. There's no Iranian government. So it's just an area. So whoever's telling you that we got defeated, they don't know what they're talking about. There is no Iran. There's no Iranian government. It's gone. We used AI, something called Palantir. We knew where all their leaders were. You can't touch any technology. If you use any technology, they'll know where you are, and then drones hit you. And it's just, they didn't deploy any American units there. It was all just done with missiles and bombs. I don't think any Americans got killed, other than a couple dudes got hit by missiles in other countries. But if you see what they struck, they're like little campsites. There's nothing there. I've been to many of them. It's just an airfield with some empty buildings. And you know, when you're moving through, you go through those little bases. There's really nothing there. You can blow them up and you can rebuild it like fucking 2 or 3 weeks later. So don't believe any of the propaganda. No damage was done. Just a bunch of money was made. Every time we launch those missiles, we make money because we have to make another one. It's just part of the economy. And no war was declared either. It was just a military action, just a strike.
Oracle says the Artemis 2 crew is back home. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Splashdown with all chutes deployed. And Houston has made radio contact with them. I thought they were going to be out longer for some reason, but I guess not. Victor is here. Yeah. But yeah. Kenny says we come here to get away from this bullshit. Well, yeah, you know.
That's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got guys in there that don't know what they're talking about. There's a whole industry of YouTubers commenting on what's happening on world affairs, but they're not experts in any of this. They don't have any background in military science or even politics. They just talk shit. So you can frame and spin things to any way you want. And some of these guys are huge, you know. Alex Jones is perfect at it. He'll spin anything to any way he wants. He's not really an expert in anything. And he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Some of the stuff that he's kind of predicted would happen, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. A lot of these other people, they don't know what they're talking about either. And anybody on the news media, they don't know what they're talking about either. They don't know anything about military science or strategy. They're just talking shit. You have to look at the numbers. Nobody was killed. No Americans were really killed, other than a few guys in other remote little locations by missile strikes. But it was like less than 20 people. I mean, shit, fucking my division had 6 guys dying per week from fucking DUIs. Or from fucking drunk driving. 6 a month. 6 people a month just from drunk driving when I was in the service. So 20 is nothing.
Victor showed up, said, "Hey, I made it." Then he said, "Oh, Beijing, yeah, I know."
Yeah, Beijing died.
But like
she died in her sleep.
But like I said, we knew it was coming because she was very old. But you know what I mean. Maybe, well, I don't know. So now we have the 2 kitties. They're a handful, though. You know? So, I don't know. We might eventually get another one, but I don't know. Like I said, we got the 2, and they're kind of a lot. So, you know what I mean? They're a lot. Klaus is very drunk, it seems.
Yeah, what's he done?
I don't know. Like, a lot of his stuff disappeared. I don't know if somebody turned him off.
Somebody must have turned drug up.
Maybe Tanya did.
Yeah, Tanya, his own girlfriend fucking timing his ass out.
I mean, it's like, most of the time, because like I said, I feel like when Klaus shows up, he's already pretty hammered.
Already fucking drunk.
Which, like I said, I can't judge, because, you know, I get kind of hammered on the show, too.
He shows up and he wants to fight.
But,
yeah.
I don't even know if it's that, because a lot of the stuff that he's saying is kind of not, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanya said, "Klaus, please shut up." I love that she just tells him to shut up, and she's.
That's because I made her a fucking. I gave her a ranch. I made
just
her
for that.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Keep his ass in check.
That's pretty funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Victor says my 16-year-old doggy Christy died in her sleep. I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Like I said, I'm just glad we didn't take her to the vet, or she just died here just hanging out. You know. Oscar says, got way too high today. Well, that's high to you too. Not me. I'm not even remotely drunk yet. We're doing iced coffee with vodka in it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't buy any soda, but like we have
so much iced coffee.
Well, because I make a huge pot, and then I've been on the GLP-1, which makes me want to throw up all the time. Yeah. So it's like, usually I can only drink 1 cup, maybe 1.5 before I'm like, bleh.
Oh, it's Oscar. He's here.
Yeah.
What's up, Oscar?
And so Tom will usually drink a bunch of it, but then we still have a bunch of it left over. So I just keep putting it in this pitcher that's in the fridge, And the pitcher is now so full that no more fits in there. Victor says, Tom, I was in South America for a few weeks. That's right. I remember you saying you were gonna go.
Yeah, bitch.
I knew Chile was going to be nice, but it was so nice.
Yeah.
Argentina was mess, so was Uruguay.
Yeah. Uruguay was okay. Paraguay is cool. No, I love Chile, man. Santiago, I fucking love Santiago. Never rains there. Was it still shiny? They have all the fucking copper and shit fucking polished? But no, fucking Santiago was fucking beautiful. The people were fucking great, man. They had good looking girls there too when I was there. The food was good. Real good.
Well, yeah, man.
I could easily move to Chile.
Maybe we will one of these days.
I haven't been there recently. I don't know if you can you get everything you need there. I mean, I'm sure it's easy to get all the fucking Wi-Fi and all the technological devices. I'm sure it's. What was the food like? What were the prices like?
Yeah,
it used to be the prices were low. Your money went a long way there.
Yeah, because I mean, you know,
South America is it's a great untold fucking secret. It's all the cool shit of fucking America and Europe combined with good looking people, and the prices were good. And Argentina's economy was fucked up for a while, but that's supposed to be getting better. They've always had fucked up economies, all right. But they do tend to make it. You know, Brazil's not doing well right now though, and that's according to my friends that still live there. They were like, they told me, man, Landulfo was like, man, you would not recognize this place. He says, you remember what it was like when we were kids? How much fun it was? He says, it's not like that anymore. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, it's bad, man. It's like worse than Colombia was when Colombia was bad. He's like, I'd rather be in Colombia now. You just say they're just extremely violent. The economy's fucked up. The poor are getting poorer, the rich are getting poorer. It's just bad. Which is a shame, man. Brazil was fucking awesome in the 80s. It was a real life 3D Duran video for me, man. That's what it was like. It was fucking great. You was hungry like the wolf down that bitch. The club life was great, man.
Victor says, yes, very modern, just like the USA. Prices were cheap. Everything was tap to pay, so I never needed cash anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that I hear a lot of South Americans and Europeans complaining about when they come to the U.S. It's like, why is tap to pay like not more?
Yeah.
They also hate it. This is the thing that I've heard a lot of Europeans complaining about. It's like when you go to a restaurant, it's like, why do they take your card away and swipe it elsewhere? They don't like that. Because it's like now, like in Europe, everywhere, you just do it at the table. It's, you know what I mean? It's just tap. And it's just like, why is the USA so behind on that? Like, why are you still taking my card away? Like, what the fuck? Are you writing my number down?
I take it you were in Santiago because, you know, when I was there, that was the only place to be. The other cities didn't really compare. And the clubs were good, man. It was fucking awesome. And I only spoke Portuguese. I didn't speak Spanish. So I used Portuguese when I was there. And they fucking loved it. They were like, you're Brazilian? I said, no, I'm American. And like, what? I said, yeah, man, I'm North American, but I speak Portuguese. And they fucking loved that. That was a whole angle for them. Fucking, but because they never saw any North Americans there. So you were like super exotic. Yeah.
It's like, wow, an actual honest.
But they were very, very cool, man.
North American.
I have great respect for the Chileans. Yeah, they're fucking super cool.
I wouldn't mind going one of these days.
Yeah. You'd like it?
I'd probably be more into going to Chile than Brazil, but like, you know.
It's just... Chile was fucking, for me, more exotic than Brazil. Brazil's big, and it's kind of like, it's like America. It's America. But it's South America.
Yeah.
But it has that... this is something you fucking effeminate ass fucking Europeans always talk about how dumb Americans are. Just because you've never been to Brazil. Brazilians are more Americans than Americans. Whatever, all your stereotypes of Americans, turn that shit up to like 12. All right. Brazilians are even more louder, more boisterous, more fucking macho, more fucking dangerous. Brazilians are insane, man. Americans are wallflowers compared to Brazilians. I love them though. I got along with it. Yeah.
I have heard that you're taking your life in your hands driving there.
Oh,
for sure.
hell yeah. You're taking your life in hands, drive, and just anything you do. Those are some crazy motherfuckers, man. Very sexy. Very sexy. All of them. Very sexy motherfuckers.
I read this great book like a few years ago called Traffic.
Yeah.
And it was comparing driving, like in all different countries. And I think like the craziest one was Brazil.
Brazil, fucking crazy, yeah.
They were like, they're like, are there even any laws or?
Not really. Not really.
I mean, there are, but no one seems to be following them.
Yeah.
It's like people are just whatever.
All these fucking American stereotypes that you hear in the zeitgeist, increase those by 20%, and that's Brazil.
Yeah, I've heard it was a crazy
Oh,
one.
yeah. Yeah.
Victor says Chilean dudes were hotter than Argentinians,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
in his opinion.
Yeah. I know you're in the gay scene there, but the Argentine girls were fucking great, though, man. They were cute. But no, Chilean girls were cuter. Chilean girls look better than Brazilian girls. And I'd say Argentine girls were better looking than Brazilian girls, too. And I put Chile at the top. They were cute. There's just something about them. Just something about that genetic makeup. Very Castilian looking, very Spanish looking. Some of them have slight Indian influences, and there's a bunch of. They actually had some Irish influence to them. There's a lot of Irish immigration into Chile too. So it's just a very serious looking people, real cool looking people.
Kenny said Americans have the right idea. Don't get rid of checks. You can't use a check in UK or Europe. Although the thing about it though is that not many people use checks anymore, except old people. Especially just like to buy something in a store, like a grocery store. You only really see old people doing that.
Yeah.
Like some people still get paper paychecks, I guess, like at jobs. But
So is a person cheating? They don't have any money. They're just writing a check because they didn't get paid soon. That's when you see them doing that here.
yeah, I don't remember the last time I wrote a check, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Victor also said, kind of disappointed that there wasn't an earthquake while I was there.
Yeah, Victor.
I mean,
Victor, tell me what the gay scene was like there. Because I've never been to the gay scene there. Of course, what would I be going to the gay scene? But it's interesting to know. It's interesting to know.
yeah, why would you be going to the gay
Yeah,
scene?
would I be going to the gay scene? But fucking just
Why would
saying,
you be going to
the straight scene was fucking good. I want to know
to
what the
the
gay scene was
Chilean
like.
equivalent of the
Yeah.
manhole or the ramrod?
One of the things that we call the ramrod or the manhole, fucking Chileans during the time that I was there were kind of they were real fit. You didn't see during the time I was there, you didn't see any fat Chileans. They were real fit people. Might have something to do with the altitude, because the air is real thin up there.
Yeah. It's weird. I never really thought, because I've lived in Florida most of my life, which is right at sea level. And I'd always heard about altitude sickness and how it was a thing. And I went to Denver like a few years ago to visit my sister when she lived there. And at first, I was just kind of like, oh, I didn't see any difference or anything like that. But the next day, holy crap, I've never felt so fucking sick in my whole entire life. I couldn't eat anything without throwing up. It's like I felt so fucking weird. It went away after a while, but ugh. I had fun after that, but yeah. Because we went out to eat when I first got there. And then later on, I was like, oh, and I was just hurling it all back up. Ugh, it was awful. And that's not even that. I mean, Denver's a mile above sea level, right? Something like that. We did actually end up going up in the mountains and shit, but I still remember because I'd never really seen mountains. I saw mountains in Wales, obviously, but they're not the same as, out west of the United States. It's they're a lot bigger. And she took me out on all these mountains in fucking Colorado. And I think the first thing I was like, oh my God, it looks like a beer can. And she laughed at me. But you know what I mean. I was like, I just never saw them. I'm like, the clouds are below us. That was blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. Victor says, I just hooked up once in Buenos Aires. It was a dude on Grindr dropping off his girlfriend at work nearby.
Okay.
Did the girlfriend know that that's what was going to say?
Probably not. No,
bye,
probably-
honey. I'm going to
probably
drop you
not.
off, and then I'm going to go.
No, he's
get
in the closet. He's in the closet. Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Uruguay, Paraguay, Argentina, that whole area, even the south of Brazil, they all kind of look about the same. They're about the same racial admixture. They're kind of very European looking. You see some Indian influence in them. But in general, they're just kind of like Southern Europeans, Spanish looking, kind of light skin, dark hair, good build. They're good people. The food's great. Got a good restaurant culture. Go out and eat cheese and drink wine and shit, you know, and fucking drink all day and drinking wine and go fucking have some churrascaria, you know, churrasco. Or, you know, go eat some South American pizza. Anything, you know, because they have Italian food there. They have Spanish type food, bacalhau, salted fish. You know, it's just kind of a Mediterranean diet. Good shit, man. Good culture. Your party. They like to party. Fucking dancing all night. Beans and rice. Black beans and rice. Friendly people. They have corazón, you know, good heart to them, you know.
Victor says the dude's line was, "I'm gonna suck you like an orphaned calf."
Like an orphaned calf.
That's a good line.
Damn.
Wow. Man, I wish our
gay riz
I
there.
wish our fucking pickup lines were that
That's
creative.
Some gay riz there, man.
Here is Morricone. He says, "Good evening. Big fan of your Giallo reviews. Thank you very much. My next J&B shot goes to the sad fact that I ran out of them. Hope you do more." I will definitely do some more Giallo movies because I have a lot more that I have to do. Morricone says, also Argentinian here. Okay. Women are hot and our traffic is survivable.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the over-under on like what the percentage of how...
I haven't been since I was a kid, man.
I would probably have a fucking heart attack. I was like, because honestly, even driving on I-4 in Orlando gives me a panic attack. So I can imagine what driving in South America.
I haven't been to deep South America since I was a kid, man, and I want to go back and see it. But the thing is that it takes so long to fly there from here. It takes a long time to fly all the way down there, and it's expensive. Those aren't cheap flights. If you go, you're going to want to stay there for several months because you don't want to go there just for a week. You want to go for about 3 months and jump around, go to different countries. We could work from there. I mean, we get paid no matter what. Jen could work from there, but shit, man, fucking, we have to pay bills here and there at the same time.
Yeah, I can't afford that.
That's the problem, see.
Can't afford that shit.
Yeah. But I miss South America.
I mean, we have thought about, like, later on, like, retiring. Not like I'll ever be able to retire, but you know what I mean.
Sell this place off.
And then maybe move into another country that's cheaper.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
The most convenient place to move that we could live well at would be Mexico City.
Yeah.
Mexico's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of stereotypical shit. You know, oh, Mexico's full of fucking cartels. You probably want to live where the cartels are. They keep the place fucking safe. But all the shit that they fucking control is safe. All right. But no, I got friends that live there, and for the amount of money that I just pull in just automatically through fucking military type retirement, I could own a place twice this size.
Yeah.
You know, in Mexico. And they got good shit there. Americans don't realize how fucking nice Central and South America are. The food is great. Great food, man. Really good quality of beef. The prices are great. Good fish. The fruit and vegetables is extremely good. Now, you might not be able to get all these fucking little Americanisms and shit, but I'm not fucking... I don't care about American candy and shit. I'm good enough with Central and South American candy, and you know the desserts and shit that I'm not real. And I'm such a good cook, I can make anything, you know. So it's not like I have to buy stuff. But no, I could easily live anywhere in Central and South America. with my income. Just to chill out.
Yeah.
And I really wouldn't even need a big place. I probably would just like a nice apartment. You know what I mean? Something where you don't have to take care of a lawn and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, because honestly, the older you get,
you don't need any of that shit anymore.
Man, yeah. Because
I got a whole acre I got to continue to mow, and I got to pay just to fucking run a fucking lawnmower and ride this lawnmower around all the time.
And you got to hire somebody to come trim all the hedges. And all that other
I got palm trees. I got to hire a dude to come up here with a fucking thing so you can get up on top of that damn palm trees and cut all those dead limbs off of there. There's like $300 just for fucking palm trees.
Yeah.
You know, I'd get it if I could reach it. I can't reach it.
Yeah, they're tall.
You need a cherry picker. One of those fucking things.
Yeah.
Lifts. It's big, tall
And you got to do it because the HOA will crawl up your ass if you don't keep your shit locked down. You know?
Right. So, me and Jen, we could just have a cool little apartment and a fucking car, and we'd be happy. We can spend all fucking... We didn't have to cook, man. We can go to all the restaurants and fucking go to clubs and shit. And
yeah, that sounds nice, actually.
buy clothes and
just hang out.
Just hang out, yeah. Shit, I'd have enough money to start my own club. Have a goth club and shit. We didn't have to really make money as long as it can pay its own bills. I could start a club. Have some cool DJs come in. I don't give a shit. Yeah. I'm sure they got clubs though there. They probably got badass clubs, but
DVD Dragon gave us a super chat. Thank you very much. Big operation by I'm saying this like police in Brazil last October in Rio. 2,500 police and military. They went after a criminal syndicate. Over 100 killed in the favelas.
Yeah. That's the thing that a lot of Americans don't realize. The American military here mostly is fucking wasting its time fighting foreigners that really, we really don't give a shit about. It's just a money making project. In Brazil, its military and all its commandos most of the time are active inside the fucking cities. It was like that when I was there. You'd see fucking armored vehicles and armored fucking trucks and shit filled with fucking dudes with submachine guns. Military police everywhere. Fighting gangs. Now, a lot of those gangs exist because of the policies of the country, though. So those gangs wouldn't be there if they had a fucking strong economy. But they don't want a strong economy. They want an oligarchy. That's so gangs form because people can't get the things that they need. It's complicated.
David Brown saying Costa Rica. Yeah, I've heard about a lot of Americans retiring there. S3G77 said Thailand is the best place to retire. I've heard that as well.
Yeah, but the thing is Thailand isn't Western. I want to be in Western civilization, and Central South America is Western. It's very Western. It's just it's not as thought about as much by North Americans because North Americans, especially like Anglo-type North Americans, they're always looking to Europe and shit. They kind of look at Central and South America like that, like it's Africa or some shit like that. And no, man, it's another part of America. It's a lot like the United States. It's just different. It's Spanish speaking. Okay, so it's more based upon Southern European stuff. But what's funny is you go there, man, they have everything we have. It's the same culture. It's just a different language. But all the music we grew up with here, they know it too. Like they know all those bands, and then they have their own bands too. So it's just you can fit in, and they know what you're talking about if you speak Spanish, which I can make myself understood in Portuguese and Spanish. I can kind of fake Spanish because I know a lot of it. But Jen would take her a few years to get to it. But you could get a private tutor there for not a lot of money, and in 6 months Jen could speak Spanish.
I took a few years of Spanish way back in school, but I don't remember much of it, to be honest, because I don't use it,
Yeah, if it's all around you pick it up very quickly.
Yeah. I didn't take as much. I took 4 years of French, but I don't remember much of that either.
Yeah, you're primed for it. Yeah.
I don't remember much of that either. I actually got quite good at it, but I don't, like I said, I don't use it because I don't know anybody that speaks
Brazilians were always very insulted by North Americans of the 80s when I was there, you know what I mean? That they didn't that North Americans would show up there expecting it to be something like out of Africa. Like, no, man, it's Western civilization. It's just, you know what I mean? They're just speaking Spanish. But they're just like us. They got Christmas. You know what I mean? They have, fucking the moral systems are the same because, it's still kind of based in Christianity. The moral system, like you don't go around raping women, all the morals are exactly the same. You can do basically the same thing in Brazil as you can in the United States. Same. Now, Brazilians will push the boundaries because they're aggressive, but they're still Western. They know the difference between criminal behavior and impolite behavior. Certain people from other civilizations don't. They don't know the difference or don't care.
David Brown says a couple can live comfortably in Costa Rica for $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Which that's very doable.
Yeah, a couple? Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Super doable.
Like I said, I've heard that like a lot of Americans retire there, like to Costa Rica.
The thing is that I do not want to live anywhere near other Americans in a tourist area.
No, me
I
neither.
want to vanish inside of South America and live with South Americans. I don't want to live around America.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really. Unless there was a handful of cool ones, but it's like, I don't generally want to hang out with other Americans.
You end up being in a fucking expat community, and you're a foreigner in another country. That's not what you want. You want all your friends to be locals.
Yeah, I would rather that, honestly. Yeah. I don't think I would like that whole, because that's its own scene.
Yeah. When I lived in Brazil, man, fucking, I hated hanging out with other Americans. I liked hanging out with Brazilians. All my friends were Brazilians. I only dated Brazilian girls. I didn't like dating American girls or anything. Because now you have to deal with American problems. And they're foreigners. That's the weird thing. You're in Brazil, right? You're a foreigner. That other girl, she's a fucking foreigner. Other people are looking at you as a foreigner.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I liked to be in Brazil as a Brazilian.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a Brazilian and date Brazilians and just be a regular person. I had the foreign riz. They knew who I was, but I lived as a Brazilian. Spoke Portuguese and everything.
Yeah. CB says Canadians love moving to Scotland.
That's funny.
Really? Do they really?
Yeah.
I can see why. I've never been to Scotland. I've been to England and Wales, but I never got to Scotland, unfortunately. But, I don't know. It looks cool to me, to be honest. Yeah. Wales was cool. Although, what I was going to say before when you were saying about Americans thinking that South America was like Africa or something.
Yeah.
I was like, when I lived in the UK off and on in the 90s, my stepdad's mom, like when I was home, asked me if they had VCRs.
Yeah. That's fucking funny.
In the UK.
Yeah.
I'm like,
do they have telephones in the UK? Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, what do you think? They all live in mud huts? What the fuck? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So weird. Like that they thought it was like some fucking.
Yeah.
I was like, they got the same shit we got.
Yeah.
Actually, as a matter of fact, when I was over there in the 90s, they were like ahead of us in a lot of ways because I feel like they adopted cell phones a lot earlier than Americans did.
Yeah.
Because I remember being over there in the 90s and mobile phone stuff, like cell phone shit, was everywhere. And that was before most Americans had them.
The only difference in the 80s, the difference between the United States and Brazil is that in Brazil, there might be 2 brands of VCR that you could buy. In the United States, there might be 5. And they might be a little bit cheaper. That'd be the difference. And in Brazil, there was like a very limited selection of what kind of cars you could buy. And they were expensive, even though this is an economy car. This is a Volkswagen Rabbit. But they're charging you like 4 times or 3 times what a Volkswagen Rabbit in the United States would cost. All the cool cars, fucking brand new Ford Mustangs, and all that, they didn't have that in Brazil. Because they were blocked from importation. No foreign cars could come in. So foreign cars were considered to be very exotic. But it didn't matter in daily life. I didn't give a shit what kind of car I had. I had a car.
I don't really care about cars.
But some people
as long as it gets from point A to point B, I don't really give a fuck.
I didn't give a shit. I had a Volkswagen Bug. a Brazilian-made Volkswagen Bug that burned alcohol, and it was brand new. My stepdad bought it for me. Actually, the company bought it for me, but it was his company. And man, I could date anybody because I had a brand new car. Yeah, and there's like 1% of Brazilian teenagers had a car. Maybe less than 1%. So man, that was a ticket. That was a ticket to date anybody. So I was very popular, and I looked good. Had all kinds of money, so I was very popular.
Picture says
I had a car in high school. That was like unheard of.
Yeah.
In
Whereas
Brazil.
here, like a lot of, well, I don't want to say most students, but I'm gonna say 60-ish%. And I was in high school in the late 80s. Probably 60 to 70% of students had cars.
Yeah.
A lot of them were beaters.
Yeah.
Or a lot of them were, their parents bought a new car and
Yeah.
gave them their old one or whatever. Or they borrowed a car from it, but a lot of them did drive themselves to school. I lived literally down the street, like almost across the street from the high school, so I just walked. But
I don't know if Gramps is in here, but we went to high school together for a couple years in Michigan. And because my stepdad, who owned that company in Brazil, also was from Michigan, so we moved a couple times when I was in high school. And I had a car. We could get a car there. This is in the 80s. We could get cars from the 70s, like a Buick Skylarks and shit like that. Fucking Mustang. It was a Mustang. Fucking from 70s Mustangs. What was the name of that fucking thing? What's his name had one? We could get a Chevelle. We got those cars for anywhere between $300 and $700 back in the 80s. That was cheap even back then. They ran. They all had problems, though. 70s cars had problems. They leaked oil. Hoses went out. You were constantly replacing shit like fucking thermostats. The parts were cheap, but you had to stay on top of it. And but we all had, in high school, we pretty much all had cars. Because we could get a car for nothing. And it'd be like a little rattle trap, It'd be a fucked up old car, but you could get one for nothing. There was no public transportation.
or none that was any good. I mean,
Yeah.
Like I said, where I grew up in Daytona Beach. They had buses and shit, but it took forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, if you were taking a bus or public transportation, you were a loser, man. Loser.
Yeah, you mostly didn't want to be seen.
You were like
a lot of times I had to, like depending on where I worked and stuff, but it wasn't fun.
You were one step away from prison if you were taking public transportation.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a lot of people that had their licenses taken away because of DUIs.
DUIs. You're literally one step
or people
away
that
from
were
prison.
too old to drive.
Yeah.
It was like that kind of shit.
And then when you're on those buses and shit, fucking the dudes that are on the buses with are dudes from prison and on the bus.
Mostly, I didn't think there was anybody from prison, but there was a lot of people. Like one of the routes that I had to take went out to the prison, so it was like a lot of people that were going to visit people in prison.
Yeah. Now, Klaus was talking about the breaking down cars and the V8s. Yeah. It was the Mustang I was thinking about. I think it was a 73 Mach 3. I think it was the Mach 3, which is worth a lot of money now. It was a fastback. I can't remember who had the Mach 3. I think Jason had a Mach 3. And I think it was only like, he bought that car for like $500. And all those cars had, by the time the late 80s were around, like 85, 86, 87, shit from 73 was starting to have problems. It was, those cars, they were built like tanks, man. They had a lot of fucking steel. Michigan salted the roads, so the salt would get on the bottom of the car and just eat everything. The car would just be eaten up by rust. So your brake lines all had to be replaced. The exhaust systems were all just eaten out. So you had to get a new exhaust system. And a lot of times you couldn't get an aftermarket exhaust. You had to buy like an old factory exhaust, and it wasn't stainless steel. It was just regular mild steel. So it would continue to rust. The hoses, the engines were good, but the hoses that came off the engines, the radiator hoses and stuff, the quality wasn't that good, and they would kind of like deteriorate over time. So you had to replace all those hoses. If you replaced them, you usually wanted to go with something aftermarket, which would cost more money. And And yeah. And I remember that we were always having problems with thermostats and radiators. The radiators would rust like crazy. There'd be fucking holes in them and shit. So you have to. They're easy to replace, but it was just a fucking pain in the ass. Now a lot of that had to do with the fact that we were in Michigan, and they put salt on the roads for the winter to keep the fucking ice down, and the steel just couldn't handle it. It would just fucking rust. So you were constantly fixing rust damage in Michigan. The newer cars don't have that problem because they're aluminum and stainless steel. So it's a lot better. Even the sheet metal doors would start fucking rusting out. So that you'd have a good fucking car, but the bottoms of the doors were just starting to eat through, from the fucking salt. So it kind of gave the American car a bad name. But you have to understand that those fucking cars were cheap. They were mass produced. They weren't expensive to begin with when they sold them. They were pretty powerful for what you paid. And Ford and Chrysler and all those companies that made those things, really, they only had like a fucking 5-year lifespan on them. They wanted you to buy a new car every 5 years. They would say the dealerships were set up to where like every 5 years you'd bring that car back and they'd trade it in for a new one. That's what they were trying to do. Like they called it planned obsolescence. And they really wouldn't change much. They just changed the sheet metal styling, new paint, make it look different. But it was all the same transmission, the same motor, same suspension. It worked. They weren't expensive. And they had very easy financing. In the United States, if you could go in, if you could sign on a dotted line, you would leave with a car. You would drive out of there with a car if you could make your signature. Whether or not you could pay for it, that was up to you. If you didn't pay that bill, that monthly bill, they'd come with a big fucking tow truck and take that car from you. And then they'd sell that car used to somebody else. It was a system.
The hilarious thing is that on Mystery Science Theater, they did a couple of shorts that were designed to show to car salesmen. I can't remember what, was it Ford or Chrysler, or I don't remember what car make it was. But they would go door to door to sell cars.
Yeah.
Like they would have a list of like, hey, so-and-so just bought one of our cars like, 5 years ago and they probably need a new one. So go to their fucking house and get them to come down here. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was so funny that they used to sell fucking cars door to door.
Yeah, he's laughing. He says, yeah, the engine's awesome, but the hoses were bad. Yeah, they would do shit like that. They would design a really good engine and a really good transmission. And like on a top model, the hoses and all the support stuff would be like the best quality you could get, but you paid more for that. But a lot of the just like fucking lower end cars were something where it was like a couple $1,000s cheaper. They sold you a cheaper version of that car. You notice that the hoses weren't quite steel reinforced. They weren't quite as thick as the other shit. You know what I mean? And they may have not used like, what do you call it thing? Fucking certain components might not have been the best quality. Like there's times where you could go down where the fucking pedals were and the firewall in between the engine and stuff. You could see where instead of bolting things together, they just fucking stapled shit together with a staple gun. And there was like plywood sometimes in there. Or, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? So it was never really meant to be taken back apart. Crazy shit,
That is pretty crazy.
And that would have been a Mustang. It just might have been a lower end Mustang, And the carpet in there wasn't really the best, Just depended on what year, what make it was. But the actual engine and the transmissions and the suspension maybe and the brakes were good. They were good designs. It's just that maybe the brake lines on some of the cars weren't fucking really good quality brake lines. You know, like the rubber would start to crack. You know, they weren't a steel brake line. You know, shit like that. So, unless you were like if you weren't a car guy, you wouldn't know what you were looking at. A car guy would know, okay, yeah, I know this model. They use a lot of cheap shit to pull all this shit out. We're going to put the good shit in there. You know, it wasn't very expensive to put it in there, as long as you did it yourself. But if you paid a mechanic to do it, man, he'd charge you an arm and a leg.
Don't they?
British cars were the same way, though. Those MGs, the MG, like the midgets, the MG midgets, the MGAs, the MGBs, even that little British Spitfire. I remember when that thing was around, the little wedge-looking thing. The cars and the engines and everything were pretty good. But man, their fucking electrical systems on them were, the electric wiring was real small gauge wiring, and the heat would fucking cook it, and it would fucking break it. It would start breaking. And shit like hoses weren't really good quality. If you had a British car, and maybe the carburetor wouldn't be like really a top-notch carburetor. If you had a British car, you probably want to replace all that. You know, replace the fucking... get rid of that Lucas Electrics. All the switches were kind of fucking crappy. Put a different switch from Japan in there or something, you know, an American switch for the fucking headlights and stuff, you know, and replace a lot of that wiring in there. Replace the hoses. And then once you had that, the car would be pretty fucking solid. But certain British cars had problems with, like, it was a good car, but like the carburetor that they used on certain models would be like, that's not really a good carburetor. That bitch won't start in the morning if it was fucking wet out, you know, that kind of shit. So you could put an American carburetor on there or a Japanese carburetor and it would work every time. It was just the components that they were using, you know.
DVD Dragon mentioned in the public transportation thing just brought back a memory because, like I said, when I was living in Daytona and I didn't have a car for several years, so I either walked everywhere or I took the bus, and there was this one guy, I'm sure he's dead now, but pretty sure his name was Jerry. I don't remember how I found that out because he was kind of infamous, and he would ride the bus sometimes. The dude, he didn't seem like, he wasn't ranty or he didn't seem like mentally ill or anything, but he always wore like his head wrapped in towels, like a bunch of towels, like it was this elaborate kind of deal that he had with all these towels. And he had, you know, those plastic like sun visors, like they would, you know, they're like cheap, they would give them away for fucking, you know, Hawaiian Tropic or whatever the fuck. He had like 100 of those, and he like would wear them like on his belt, like there was stacks of them, and he just had that on like all the time. I don't know where he was ever going. I don't know why he had towels on his head and plastic sun visors. I don't know what happened to him. Like I said, he never acted crazy or ranted or seemed obviously mentally ill or anything, but it's just kind of like he would always get on the bus and be like, there's Jerry. What the fuck? I don't know what his story was. I think he was in the paper one time. Oh, that's how I found out what his name was. Because somebody was like, what the fuck is this guy's deal? And like took a picture and it was like in the paper. This is years ago. And they said what his name was. But I don't remember. I don't think he explained like what his deal was. I was like, I'm not judging, as you know what I mean? I was just kind of like, I just wondered. But he was kind of the main guy that I remember from riding the bus. He wasn't on it all the time, but you'd see him every now and then. And I'd be like, oh man, there's that dude. Why does he have all those fucking sun visors? It's so weird. I don't know. I don't get it. It seems so random. Yeah, Camp Guy said maybe he had a fever that he was trying to... That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, well, it is hot out. I was like, maybe the towels are like wet and he's trying to keep his head cool. I'm like, it's dumb as hell, but... And I'm sure it doesn't help much, but... And then the visors, he's like, well, I need to keep the sun out of my eyes, and what if I lose one? So I have all these backups. I'm sure he had some kind of logic behind it. I just don't know what it was. Camp Guy said if you feel hot in the summer, just wet down a white t-shirt and sit in front of a fan. Yeah, I mean, like I said, my grandparents moved to Florida in the 50s, like 1958, and their house did not have air conditioning until later, and even then it was just a window unit. Like, I don't know, because my grandmother died many years ago, and someone else lives in the house now, obviously, that they had built. But I don't know if they had central air put in at some stage, or even how much that would cost to do. But they had a window unit, like, as far as I remembered. And I was always just kind of like, man, even with the window unit, which was like in the kind of kitchen dining room area, and I was like, so there was like a hall, and that's where all the bedrooms and bathrooms were. And then I was just like, in the summertime, you can even sleep back there. It was so hot. Like, the air didn't get back there. Even if you opened the window, it didn't do jack shit. You know what I mean? Because there was no air moving. It was just muggy. So in the summer, we'd always like bring all the pillows and blankets like out into this little living room that was across from the dining room and sleep in there because that's where the air conditioning was. So it was too hot to sleep in the back of the house. You know? But she just said, I mean, my grandmother always said, oh, I was like, how did you guys live down here with no fucking air conditioning? And she's like, I don't know, it didn't bother her. She just said it didn't bother her. She was like, yeah, we would just, we would just put the fan in the window and like maybe put a bowl of ice in front of the fan or something like that. I'm just like, or we'd sit out on the porch. I mean, I know it's hotter now than it was then, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine living there with no air conditioning. It'd be fucking miserable. It'd be fucking miserable. And everything would smell like mold. Because, we've said before, like, we had, when we lived in Sanford and that hurricane came and knocked our power out. Well, we had a hurricane here that knocked our power out, but the power out was only out, I think, for 2 days this past time. When we were in Sanford, I think it was out 3 or 4 days. Actually, once we had a hurricane back in the 2000s when I lived in Daytona still with my first husband. And our power was out for 8 days. And the street was flooded. She couldn't really go anywhere. Holy crap, it was horrible. But after just a few hours, like, everything starts to smell moldy. Like, your carpet starts getting damp and everything smells like wet dog. Your walls start getting sticky. Like, it's awful. So I don't know. But she always said it didn't bother her. And I guess I believe her, but maybe some people like hot weather, I guess. I don't. Tony, you sell a class to shut up. Yeah, moldy. That's everything smells moldy. Like, after just a few hours with no AC in the summertime.
Yeah. Klaus was talking about that.
I gotta go to bed.
Klaus was talking about those new Corvettes. Our friend John has one of those new Corvettes. He's the guy that owns a club that we deal with. And he's got all kinds of high performance fucking motorcycles and cars and shit. But he drives that Corvette to the club. They have it parked out front. It's blue. I think it's newer than 2023 though. It might be a 2024, but he says that he likes the car, but he says that it's weird because if you just drive it around normally, it's a 4-cylinder. He says it's only running off 4 cylinders. And if you fucking give it a bunch of gas, boom, it becomes an 8-cylinder, and all the fucking power kicks in. He says it's weird. He says it just drives around, he just barely burning gas. And it's quite a fucking technological monster. But I gotta say that's not what a Corvette is. Corvette, man, all those classic American fucking cars, Corvettes, Camaros, Mustangs, those were American cars that anybody could own. All right, if you had a job and you could sign on a dotted line, you could own that car. All right, they would loan you the money, and you could pay it off, or you could sell it before it was paid off and get another car. So you'd be in constant debt. And this was happening This started in the fucking 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And this was happening in a time when the Soviet Union was around. You know, they had... Those cars was the American answer to communism. That was our version of communism. Sign on a dotted line, we'll get you any car you want. No commie could have that. He was fucking working in the field. He was working in some kind of factory. Maybe he had that little communist ka-chinka chinka chinka car. No, here fucking you worked for the corporations and fucking these big businesses, and they gave you fucking hot rod, and anybody could buy it. Teenagers had, when I was a little kid in the 70s, I remember seeing teenagers in Mississippi with Corvette Stingrays. Remember how badass the Stingray looked? There'd be a dude who's like 17 with a fucking Stingray. Getting laid. With the 70s, slutty 70s chicks in there, fucking from the South. Hell yeah. That was the American dream, man. And I guarantee you that boy never paid that car off. He drove that shit for 3 or 4 years and then sold it back to the dealership and got another car before that thing was ever paid for. And that was the secret to those American high performance muscle cars and the shit, is that they were cheap and anybody could buy them through an American dealer system. That was the secret. They were good, but they weren't great. They weren't track bred race cars. They were just a hot street car. They looked good. They were pretty quick. You could work on it. You could fix it. You could make it even faster if you wanted to. They looked faster than they really were, though. All those cars, like the Corvette Stingrays of the 70s, would get its ass whipped by a fucking Honda Fit. Like her little fucking Honda Fit looked like a damn station wagon. Oh, that thing would fucking tear that fucking Corvette up.
That was a fast-ass car.
That little fucking thing.
It didn't weigh anything.
Didn't weigh anything.
It felt like you were flying a glider.
Yeah. And it would stop on a dime. And it didn't burn any fuel.
I did really like that car.
A Corvette Stingray, from the 70s, from the mid-70s, it looked fucking wicked. But it weighed a lot. It weighed a lot, and a big, powerful engine, but all that weight is soaking it up. And it really wasn't that much horsepower. It was probably stock. It's probably 150 horsepower. Maybe 160, 170. It had a lot of torque, but I don't even think that thing had 200 horse. You could get 200. You could easily make 300 out of it with the right modifications, but that's not how they came stock.
DVD Dragon says, Tiger Woods turned into Florida man. My boy got caught DUI, absolutely cooked, pain pills. Florida can get to anybody, it seems. Y'all stay strong. I mean, I saw the pictures of him being like, Camp Guy says, Tiger Woods said, I don't know why that car didn't stop because I was pressing on the brakes as hard as I freaking could.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? That just randomly reminded me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Florida people, where my grandma used to live in Daytona, Holly Hill, actually, she had a 7-Eleven right behind her house. And on several occasions, an old person, and it was always an old person, would be parked in front of the store and would hit the gas instead of the brakes and went right through the front of the store, crashed out the glass and everything. Thankfully, nobody was ever hurt. But that happened at least 4 times that I remember. Yeah. Like with 4 different old people. And they'd be like, what? I hit the brake? No, you hit the gas is what you did. And you just went right through the front of the store. Yeah.
Klaus is agreeing with me. Yeah. Old as gold. The old ones. Like 78 Stingray. Yeah. Yeah. The 70s, the 70 fucking Corvette Stingrays. That first fucking, was it 54? I think it was the 54 fucking Corvette. That one was the very first one. That looked cool too. Looked like a little British sports car. Just it had a weak little engine in it. But you could put a better engine in it. And it was an automatic. Yeah, that was the problem. But it looked good. That car still exists. They got guys taking that one from that very first Corvette and putting massive fucking V8 engines in them with fucking great fucking suspensions and making them super light. And those things are fucking super hot now. You can make that. It's not the same car. It's just the same shape, you know what I mean? But I guess you could say it's the same car, the same chassis. But yeah, 70s. That was the spirit of those cars. was that they were supposed to be kind of like an everyman's car, that you could buy it. The modern Corvette now, you see them, but man, those things are fucking too expensive. They're too expensive, too high tech. That's not what a Corvette was. The Mustang is still a Mustang, though. The newer Mustangs are still about like it's more sophisticated, but I think the best of the modern Mustang was the 2004 to 2008, the flat nose Mustang. That one, I liked that one, and it's still pretty primitive. You can get one for nothing now. I ought to fucking try to find one. You could probably get one for fucking $2,000, and all the parts are still out there to work on that. That looked like a Mustang. It looked like a 64 Mustang. Just a lot better.
Camp Guy said, my first cousin's grandmother on the other side of the family, no blood relation, used to own a Tasty Freeze takeout in Soperton, Georgia, really small town. Man, Tasty Freeze. I don't remember if we had any of those.
Tasty Freeze was good, man.
I mean, maybe we did, but I never went to one.
Yeah, it had them in Mississippi.
I mean, I'm sure we had some in Florida.
Yeah.
I just never went to one.
Yeah, you could get chocolate malted shakes there.
Yeah.
With malt in them.
I'm not a big fan of chocolate malt. You know?
I love it.
Like, it's fine. It's not. I don't hate it or nothing. But it's like if I have other options, I probably would never pick that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember if we had any of those. I'm sure we did because that was a southern thing. But like I said, I think the first time I heard of it was in that fucking John Cougar song. Mm-hmm. Sucking on a chili dog outside.
They had them in
the
Mississippi.
Tasty
They were good. That was our version of Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I mean,
they weren't as fancy.
I went to Dairy Queen when I was a kid. Dairy Queen's still around.
Yeah, Dairy Queen's around, and Dairy Queen is modern. Tasty Freeze wasn't. Tasty Freeze, even in the 80s and the 90s. Last I saw Tasty Freeze was the 90s. It still looked like something out of the 60s.
Those kind of like little round buildings.
Yeah, square.
Or they were square.
Square, yeah, square, and there was a parking lot around it. It's in the middle, and you walked up to it.
Yeah. Okay.
You walked up.
I mean, there was more than one place like that, but yeah. I know the type of shit you're talking about.
Yeah, Sonic. It's the same concept as Sonic, but Sonic is like light years ahead.
Well, yeah, Sonic, you pull up in your car, and they come out to your car. Yeah, like the old school. Mm-hmm. They're not on roller skates or nothing, but it's back in the old days. They come out on roller skates with the fucking tray.
Sonic is cool in a small town, you know what I mean? And you're in high school, you go there and fucking everybody's fucking around at Sonic. There's nothing else to do. And then you take your date and just drive out and go get some head, and then come back. That's what they're doing.
I think
My dad said they were doing that back in the 50s.
Well, yeah, that's
what they did.
That was a big thing.
Go to Dairy Queen and go get head and then come back and go fuck and then go back to Dairy Queen. And that's what they were doing in high school.
I think I've only been to Sonic.
That's where a lot of the kids came from.
Well, yeah.
A lot of children came from. They were getting pregnant at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, they were sluts back then.
Oh, yeah.
Even though all the movies and TV shows like showed them all fucking square and uptight and everything.
Not according
like
to my dad.
Not from what I've heard.
They be having foursomes in the car and shit.
Yeah, I know. That was very, very common.
Yep.
They just didn't really talk about it, I guess.
They didn't put it out there. They didn't have social media.
Yeah,
if they had phones and social media, it'd have been all over phones and social media. That's what they would have been doing.
Yeah, people would probably be horrified.
They'd be taking pictures of a fucking girl in the backseat getting head. She's waving at the camera and the light and shit. Yeah.
With her little bobby socks on.
Bobby socks on. Bobby socks around her ears.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Mm-hmm. Like I said,
they were always the same. Actually, I heard Gen Z that the new kids now are actually kind of like more prudish than we were. Evidently, they're not having sex much. That there's porn, so that's kind of turned them off of it. They put them off their food. That's some weird shit.
There comes a point because porn is so ubiquitous. Yeah. It's just kind of oversaturation.
And they're afraid of getting in trouble. They're afraid of fucking people telling them what they're doing. See, that was another thing. We were doing all that shit, and they were doing it because we had privacy.
Yeah.
They couldn't really put your fucking shit out on the street. But evidently they can now.
I mean, they could, but it was just like rumors.
It was tacky.
You didn't really have...
It was tacky, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tanya says, I was the result of a virgin birth.
Yeah, immaculate conception.
Immaculate conception.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, actually. Back shots at the Dairy Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, back shots at the Dairy Queen.
Now you're making me want Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Is their food any good still?
Where's that?
Dairy Queen.
It was good the last time I went. Really good hamburgers. But like I said, it's primitive.
Yeah, but like if you just want a simple burger or shit like that, like is it still worth it or no?
Fucking Sonic would be a light years ahead of it. But probably not as good. Sonic had a corporate.
I haven't had Sonic in a long time either.
I've had it a few years ago. A few years back, probably about 6, 7, 8 years ago. It was alright. But like I said, it was kind of like McDonald's or Burger King. It was kind of corporate.
Well, yeah, it's a chain. So.
Yeah. Fucking Dairy Queen, not Dairy Queen, what was the one?
Tasty Freeze.
Tasty Freeze, last time I went, was more like a handmade or a homemade big hamburger. Wrapped in wax paper. Be dripping everywhere.
Yeah.
You know. Mayonnaise and pickles and fucking shredded lettuce.
I kind of feel like if I want a burger that we're not making at home, I would rather go to Five Guys.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah, it was like Five Guys.
See, Five Guys is good.
It was like Five Guys.
I like a big old sloppy because I just get the shit. I don't want to sit there and like, oh, I want this. I was just like, put everything on it, just everything.
Yeah, if you're a foreigner and you talk about fucking American hamburgers and talking about McDonald's, that's not an American hamburger. That's a corporate hamburger. We eat them, we like them, but that shit's corporate as shit.
It doesn't taste like a homemade hamburger though.
Or one that was made at a.
It tastes like a McDonald's hamburger.
Or one that was made at a hamburger stand.
Yeah.
The closest thing to that would be Five Guys. Five Guys that's a ham
I
fucking
think
burger.
they have Five Guys in other countries.
That's a ham fucking burger. That's the real hamburger right
there. Do
there.
they not have Five Guys in the UK? I'm pretty sure they do.
God damn, man! I got that double burger one time, and I don't even get fries. Jen will get fries. There's plenty enough fries.
Here's the thing: all I do is I'll get a burger. He'll get a burger. I get a small fry.
And there's still can't finish them.
If you don't get 2 fries because it's more fries than you could because they fill up the whole fucking bag.
You get a whole fucking bag of fries.
No matter how many you order, so why pay for
that.
more? I just get one small one and that's plenty.
And we can eat a lot, and we can't eat all that.
No, there's no way. I can't eat all this.
We can gorge.
And they have good French fries too.
Yeah, they're good French fries. Although McDonald's French fries are they're the best French fries.
They're a different French. They're different.
Yeah.
Like the Five Guys ones are kind of more like ones you'd make at home.
Yeah.
Whereas McDonald's ones are kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And look, man, I'm a child of the South. I would tell you that the best red beans and rice is from fucking Popeyes.
Everybody says that.
And you can't beat Popeye's recipe, red beans and rice. That shit's good, man. And it's simple, but there's something about the way that it probably has MSG in it.
I haven't been to Popeyes in a long time.
Yeah.
Because remember they had that one that wasn't
the one that closed down.
Well, they had that one that wasn't that far from our house, like
Yeah.
in Sanford. But I think we only went to that once or twice.
Yeah, and it closed down.
Did it? It
Yeah,
wasn't
it
even
closed
open
down.
that long. I guess
Other
that just
shit's
wasn't
good.
a great location.
Those are old companies. New ones are coming, like Bojangles. They were pretty good.
Although Bojangles has been around a long time, because I remember one in Daytona when I was a kid. But I kind of feel
more
like,
of them now.
well, they have like Nashville hot chicken and other shit like that.
And Chick-fil-A is a lot better now than it was. Chick-fil-A is good. And Chick-fil-A used to be a little bitty thing in the mall.
Yeah,
and
that's
it was
where
like a little the little chicken sandwiches, like it was pitiful.
That's where our
But now
Chick-fil-A
it's
was.
fucking
It was
really
in the mall in Daytona.
Yeah.
My grandma always wanted to eat there. We went to the food court.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
It was the biggest place in the food court.
Yeah.
It was like a whole side. It was a whole side, and then there was a McDonald's, and then there was a Sbarro.
Yeah.
There was a Chinese place, a Japanese place, a cookie place, an ice cream place. What the fuck else was in there?
But there's all different
I don't
kinds.
remember.
There's all
Candy
different kinds of new stuff now. Like what's the one with the fucking paneer? What's the name of that fucking the fucking bread? Panera. Yeah.
That's been
Panera.
around a long time.
Been around a long time. Yeah, but that's new. That's new. That's
I like Panera.
yeah, Panera.
I used to eat there.
That's so it's
I used to eat there all the time in Daytona.
It's fast food, but it's supposed to be like a bistro.
Well, that's fast casual.
Fast casual, yeah.
Like Chipotle.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same category.
Here in Florida, I'm gonna drop my nuts. I'm gonna drop my nuts on the table. Testicles will hit the table right now. The best fast food restaurant in Florida, hands down, Pollo Tropical.
Pollo Tropical is no
Pollo
joke.
Tropical. Tropical chicken.
We don't go that often because it's far.
There's not one around here.
There's not one close.
That's the best one. And it is a South American, it's a Central and South American themed fast food restaurant that's kind of like Central and South American grill
Yeah.
that you would get on a street. Grilled chicken mostly, but they have pork and they have beef too. And all the sides. And you can't beat it. And it's Central and South Americans working in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
they take that shit seriously.
They got decent food in there.
And it's fucking good. Really good. And the prices are very reasonable.
I mean, we haven't been in a while, like I said,
Yeah.
because the one that we used
There
to
isn't
go
one around
to
here. If there
was
was one around
closer
here, we'd
to
go.
our old house. Then now it's kind of far, like to go. I don't think there's one any closer.
If you have fucking $15, you can walk in there and you can come out of there well fed with like healthy food. It's going to be grilled chicken or some kind of grilled meat with fresh vegetables, beans and rice.
Yeah,
Hell
you
yeah.
get all kind of different sides.
All different sides.
All different kind of potatoes. They got spicy rice. They got all kind of different stuff.
Salad.
Don't they have plantains?
Plantains.
Plantains. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
shit.
We just haven't been in a while. Like I said.
There just isn't one around here.
Yeah. We started
If they
going.
build one around here, I'd go to it all the time. I
Yeah.
like it. It's good.
We've been going to that Culver's that they built not
Culver's
too long
is good,
ago.
yeah.
I like because I had always heard about Culver's. And that's a Pennsylvania thing, is it not?
Yeah.
But they just built one here not too long ago.
Very good quality.
And that's pretty decent.
Yeah,
it's always
real good.
packed.
Yeah, it's a hamburger joint, but they have a bunch of other shit in there.
Yeah, they got
All
like
kinds of
fish
stuff.
sandwiches, butterfly
sandwiches,
shrimp,
yeah.
and shit like that. I still haven't tried any of the frozen custard. I'll get
Yeah.
around to that, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I was just excited we finally got one that's close by. They built it right by the Harbor Freight and the Bank of America, right by it. Like it's how far is that? About 5 miles? It's
Where's
not.
that?
It's not far. The Culvers, maybe 7 miles, something like that. John Gora says, "What's the falafel chain? There must be one." I don't know if there's a name. Well, there is in the Altamont Mall where we sometimes go to the movies. There is a Mediterranean, like little restaurant in there. I'm pretty sure they have falafel, but I don't remember the name of it. I think it's just called Mediterranean Grill. It's just a boring name.
My boy Grathers, he's talking about, the guy I was talking about, man. We came up together in Trenton, we were talking about the foursomes. He said in Trenton, we would have like foursomes in big bucks with sofa-like seats while parked at the old Groseal Airport, drinking California coolers, good time. Yeah. And then he goes,
California coolers.
I'd
I
be in the
remember
back
those.
seat with my girlfriend, and a buddy would be in the front seat with his girlfriend. We had no shame. Exactly. Yeah. Me and my girlfriend would be in the back seat. Steve and his girlfriend would be in the front seat. We'd be giving each other high fives and shit. The girls would be passing cigarettes one to another while we were all fucking. And that was the 80s. It was wonderful. And we were doing that in the drive-in theater. That drive-in. Yeah, the whole car would be bouncing.
Yeah, everybody. Used to do that.
Some people would back the car up to the back of the drive-in. Me and Steve said, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it right here. There'll be cars all around us." Funny, you see another car over the next to you, and you see a girl's fucking foot sticking out through the window and shit. It was cute. Yeah, her foot going through the fucking window. It was wild, man. And that was Michigan. And Michigan is not known for being wild, but Michigan was wild. Michigan was very wild. They had cool girls there. All them Scandinavian American girls.
Grandmother says, I read that Popeye's red beans and rice is so good because that's a staple in southern prisons, so the chefs get good at cooking while doing their sentence.
I'm going to call bullshit on it. What it is that red beans and rice is fucking traditional in the deep south, in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. And Southerners of white and black are very guarded about red beans and rice. That's an important feature because food is like a religion to us. And certain dishes are very. So what it is that you're gonna have people working in there of probably Southern background, at least in the area we're in, and they're gonna make sure that shit's done right. They're gonna taste it. They're gonna go, oh yeah, that's right, yeah. But it's probably kind of prepackaged anyway. I would think it probably is. It's probably because it. And I tell you, as a cook, every time I've been there, it's exactly the same. The consistency is so good that it's some kind of a mix. It has to be. I think it probably comes dried beans and rice with the seasoning already pre-mixed, and then they're probably pressure cooking it. That's what I'm thinking. So all I probably have to do is add a certain amount of water.
No, Klaus, you're not blocked. We can see you. We did not block you.
Yeah, you're not blocked.
Camp Guy says about, where was that? I used to like Magic Pan, the crepe restaurant.
I remember that.
It was in malls in the 80s, 90s,
I remember
and
that.
70s. I love crepes, man. And
Yeah.
there's like not a lot of crepe restaurants. And he said, I have a really cool crepe maker, electric, kind of rounded on top. You turn it upside down and dip it into the batter and then turn it back upright. I know exactly what you're talking about because when I was in high school and I took home ec, we made crepe Suzette. And the school had those crepe makers. That does make making crepes like much, much easier. I've made them in a pan before and they came out pretty good. But that crepe maker thing like makes it a lot easier. It's like it's hard to explain, but it's kind of like convex. And you just dip it in the thing like that. And then you just let it cook for a minute and then peel it off.
Making crepes itself, though, is easy when you see them. You just pour it on top of a hot pan. You use a spatula.
Yeah.
And
I know. I've made
as long as it's a consistent amount.
Yeah.
You can.
You just have to be careful because it's easy to put too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they have to be pretty thin, but you have to put just the right amount, like to.
Yeah, you have to
have it all the way covered, but not too thick.
The ladle has to be right, and the size of the hot pan has to be just right. And then you just spread it. Once you got that figured out, just spread it with a spatula, and then it'll quick. And it's not real hot. The pan, it can't. If it's too hot, it'll brown. You don't want to brown it. I haven't made them in a long time.
I love crepes.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, they're good because you can do sweet stuff with them, or because sometimes I would just make them and then just put like lemon juice on them and just eat them like that.
Yeah.
Or Camp Guy says make a whole stack of crepes and then chicken cordon bleu fried crepes breaded with breadcrumbs and stuffed with chicken, ham, and Swiss cheese.
Oh yeah.
See, that sounds like fucking
that
delicious.
sounds good. Yeah.
I would eat the shit out of that.
Right. That's the French version of fucking fried chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Okay, the southern version is just take some fried chicken, put it on top of a waffle, throw some butter on it, and fucking
And some maple syrup.
and
And go to town.
Go to town, just start eating. Yeah, this shit's good.
Man, chicken and waffles is so fucking
Chicken and
good.
waffles is very good. Then it would probably be great with bacon.
I mean, I don't see how
could bacon?
why not?
How
I
could
mean,
bacon fuck it up?
Well, the thing about it is that like all the kind of traditional breakfast foods,
Yeah.
they all kind of go good together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, like if you got something from Denny's or whatever, and it was like pancakes and sausage and bacon and eggs, you would just put syrup on all the shit.
Yeah.
And just eat it with.
Yeah.
You know.
When I was in the army, man, we'd go through and wake up in the morning, man. I got shit I gotta do, and fucking, I would just grab a fucking pancake and put that up there, put some fucking ham, Swiss cheese, bacon, and I'd put some fucking maple syrup on top of that and roll it up into a burrito and fucking throw the tray back in the fucking dishwasher and walk out eating it like a burrito. And walk back to my fucking
Yeah.
parents.
I mean, that's not.
Yeah.
It can't be bad.
Yeah. Pancake burrito. Pancake breakfast burrito. Oh, there'd be egg in it too. Scrambled egg.
See, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
I think.
It all goes together.
Yeah, well, Am I wrong? But I haven't been to McDonald's for breakfast in a long time. But do they do a pancake thing, or is that somewhere else I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
I think somewhere does like a pancake. I know. I know they do like a sandwich with like little pancake bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think, or they used to. I don't know if they still do it. McGriddle, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they have that.
All right, Klaus. We'll see you around, bro.
Bye, Klaus. Yeah, you're not blocked.
You're not blocked. Yeah, there's some. There's like everybody's making fun of the CEO of McDonald's. He keeps making videos of himself trying to humanize himself. He called it. He goes, "This is great product." He's just real nerdy.
Yeah, I remember everybody laughing about that. It's like he couldn't even call it food.
Couldn't he call it a hamburger? And then that's when he was making the arch. Well, he came out with a new one where there's him and another fucking executive are eating nuggets, and he goes like, "I'm trying to eat a nugget," and he's very like nerdy. And
it's like, would you stop putting him on camera,
please? He eats a little bitty bite of the nugget. He doesn't just fucking throw the whole nugget in his mouth. It's so uncomfortable eating in public. The other guy, just fucking stop showing these fucking CEOs, man. Just stop. Those dudes you're not going to humanize those guys. They don't have any.
They're not relatable to normal people.
Yeah, they don't have any personality. And
if you can't even eat food like a human,
no.
Like, just don't go on camera.
And and you pretty much have the idea that those dudes don't eat that.
Well, of course they don't. Why would they?
Those are multimillionaires. Well, they don't eat that.
Why would they eat McDonald's?
Yeah, which is, I'm not saying it's bad food. We eat it. We like it.
Especially when you're drunk, it's really
good. We're drunk eating that shit. But they don't eat that. They see that corporation as just a big machine that makes money for them. And man, that was a bad idea to put their corporate. And I think it's because you got guys like Elon Musk and some of these tech nerds that they're known. So they thought that maybe we should let our food nerds be known. And after seeing that guy, no.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a particular kind of nerd, but like they have to be like a charming, engaging nerd.
Yeah.
Not like a weird alien in a skin suit nerd.
Yeah.
You know? Like you can't even behave like a regular ass person.
Well, you could tell that he was uncomfortable in front of a camera. That he is uncomfortable talking to normal people. That doesn't really know what McDonald's is. McDonald's is where you're going because you're drunk. You're trying to get back home. Or it's not poor people food. That's another thing. The shit's expensive.
It is very expensive.
That shit's expensive. So they've lost a lot of their market. Because when I was a kid, you could get a Big Mac for like what? $1.50? $2 maybe? This shit's. It's like almost $25. It's almost $25 a person.
If we both get a meal, which I don't usually do anymore, because like I said, I'm on GLP-1 and I can't eat that much anymore.
Yeah, you just can't.
But now I'll just get a sandwich and I can only eat half of that, and then I have to eat the half the next day. But when we used to each get a meal and coffee, it was like $25.
$25 a person. All right. That's
no, it wasn't $25 a person.
$25 for two.
It was $25 to $27 for both of us.
Okay, that's not that bad then. That's not that bad. Okay, so I thought it was $25 for both of 25
No.
apiece. Okay.
No.
Because they were saying that they were saying on a program that I was watching is that some those meals are $20 each.
Well, not
maybe in certain states they are.
Yeah, it might be. Like, because I think when I would get like a quarter pounder, fries, and like a coffee, and it was like $13 or $14. You know?
That's not that bad. I guess in other states it's more expensive.
Yeah, because the prices are different, like depending on, what the cost of living is in that area.
In California, it must be like $20-something.
And blah, blah, blah.
Must be
$20. But yeah, I think it's about $14.
Okay.
Like I said, depending on what the meal is.
Right.
I would usually just get a regular ass quarter pounder or nuggets.
That's not that bad. Because, you see, what I base it on is that it's hard to beat the Chinese. Okay? A Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet here is about $20. And they're fucking good.
Sometimes cheaper. Because if you go, that one that we sometimes go to, like Ichiban.
Ichiban, yeah.
I think that's $14.99 a person.
Yeah.
And you can eat as much as you want.
Yeah, and the thing is it's all the protein you want. So you can have boiled shrimp
and it's good shrimp. You can have all the chicken you want. You don't have to eat all that rice and all those noodles. We don't. We'll go down there and just pound a whole bunch of protein, and it's good quality protein.
They got veggies.
And
they got
veggies.
sushi.
Yeah, veggies, maybe a little bit of sushi, and then fucking have some ice cream and walk out of there. And fucking we'll roll out of there. So filled. And then if we go to Koi Wan, which is even more higher end, they have fucking steak on there. That's about
They got good shit at
that's
Koi Wan.
about $20 a person though.
And you can get like
All the steak you can eat.
prepared food too. Like
Yeah.
you can go through the line and they'll make you
They'll do some shit out the fucking the hibachi.
the
grill.
hibachi grill. You can
They'll
do
do
that
that
if
for
you
you.
want. Although I don't usually do that. Like usually I just go and eat what they got out.
Fast food has a hard time competing with that.
Yeah, because it's like it costs
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
Yeah,
And you can eat all the shit you want, and you can eat a lot healthier
it's a lot healthier.
because you can pick and choose.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
if you're on gear and you're working out, you want to eat a clean meal. You go to a Chinese buffet, just eat beef or shrimp.
Yeah.
I can get plates and plates of shrimp, boiled shrimp,
Yeah, he'll eat all the
and
shrimp.
I'll just eat like 2 plates of boiled shrimp.
I can eat
You know,
that.
I'm gonna get some of that steak, and then maybe I have a little cup of ice cream, some Chinese ice cream. Yeah, Chinese ice cream. You didn't know Chinese had ice cream? Fucking right, Chinese got the green tea ice cream.
It's pretty good, actually.
It's good, yeah.
Sometimes
Good.
they have the red bean, too. But
Red
like,
bean ice cream.
usually I get butter pecan, though, if I
Yeah,
get ice cream.
yeah.
Or mint chocolate chip, if they have
Yeah.
it.
You just gotta watch it. Sometimes little kids are reaching in there.
It's pretty germy. But,
Yeah.
you know, I have a
Yeah.
decent immune system. So, well, this cold notwithstanding.
Yeah. But I'll get tempted because they'll have the butterfly deep fried shrimp up there looking fresh and shit. And I'm going, man, that's good. They got the cocktail sauce. And I could get a whole plate of that. But the thing is all those carbs. See, because they're eating all that breading.
Yeah.
I like it, but I'm like, man.
I know. I'm
That's
always just
fucking
kind of
fat.
like, man, I kind of want
Yeah.
that. But, yeah.
And then they'll have a whole bunch of fucking sweet and sour chicken. And I'm like, man, I'm looking at all that breading. I'm going,
Yeah.
damn. But that sauce looks good, you know? Yeah. Makes you want to go back.
I mean, you can have a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
So, fast food has a hard time competing with that in terms of value. So you don't go to fast food for value. You go to fast food for convenience.
I mean,
just
we end
happens
up
to be
going to
there.
McDonald's because one, it's the way home. It's on the way home
It's
from the
open
club,
in the
and
middle
it's
of the night.
open all night.
It's
Like
open
it's
all
the
night.
only thing that is.
Right.
Now the McDonald's by our house, which they built just a year or two ago,
They're closing it early, man.
they were open all night for a
Yeah.
long time. We were like, woohoo! Oh my god, we're so glad you guys are open 24/7. But one night we were coming over from the club, and we pulled in there, and the lights were on. But I'm like, are you bitches closed? Yeah, we close at 1 a.m. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? You guys told me you were going to be open all night. Yeah, they're not
Remember
doing
what
it
camp
anymore.
guy says at the very bottom. I'm going to tell him some shit.
Okay, wait a minute. Sorry, I was laughing at DVD Dragon. CEOs at that level are lizard people.
Yeah.
The product didn't require him to lay on a heat rock to let it digest. Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, they shouldn't have showed that dude.
Yeah, John Gore said they just should have done a feel-good ad with the CEO nerd just showing up and buying a bunch of people whatever they wanted. See, that might have worked out.
Yeah.
And then DVD says, if you go through the app on your phone, they have big discounts. That's the only way I would buy fast food anymore. Yeah, and I will say that the McDonald's app, which I did get, is a really good deal. Like, you get free shit all the
we ought
time.
to do the app before we go through this shit.
I know, but I just never think about it. I have all kind of points in there. I could get, like, all kind of shit for free.
We'll hit the app up before we jump in the line.
Yeah,
We
probably.
do. I was saying DVD, what camp guy's talking about is cast iron.
Oh, I said I kind of collect raw cast iron cooking pans,
Yeah.
and I'm looking to get a cast iron waffle maker next. They don't
Yeah.
make them right now.
Yeah. The
Foundries are
closed.
idle yet.
When my dad died, they asked me what I wanted out of this house. He had all kinds of shit in that house. I says, I want all that fucking cast iron. My grandmother's cast iron, I got all of it. Dude, fucking huge pots with fucking...
He uses that like all the
Yeah,
time.
and that shit's non-stick as a motherfucker because it's been used for fucking probably 100 years. It was old when my grandmother got it. One of the things that I have is about that big around it, about that deep, and it has a fucking... It's a deep fryer. A cast iron deep fryer. That's wild, man. It's for doing French fries or just whatever. I've never used it, but I have it. It has a little fucking little bin with a wooden handle on it and everything. You can put your beef tallow in there, that's what they were using. put your French fries or your, I don't know, maybe your, it was probably French fries. What do you think they were deep frying?
Or fried chicken.
Maybe fried chicken.
Or catfish.
Pieces of catfish maybe, and they were putting it in there. Yeah. But it's about that big around, and it's about that tall. It's a weird shape.
Fried catfish.
Yeah. Well, I would think that they would just put it down there and it has a lid. They probably just dropped it in there 2 or 3 at a time, and then it was done. They pulled it up out of there. It's wild.
Granther says, I always regret the panda buffet the next day, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that kind of gives me pause about it, is that I feel like when you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, that it's like you should actually try to eat as much as possible to get your money's worth, but I can't eat that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, literally the only thing, like, I'll have a little, like, kind of appetizer plate with some cold, boiled shrimp, and then maybe a piece of sushi, and then maybe a couple scallops or something. And then I'll have, like, a little hot plate with a couple different little things. And that's it. I can't really... And then maybe I can choke down a little cup of ice cream, but that's about it. Like, Tom can eat, like, twice that much.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not horribly expensive. I think Koi Wan is $15.99 a person, I think. Yeah. And I think Ichiban is like $1 or so cheaper. Because it's still nice, but it's like slightly lower end.
Yeah, camp guide, you gotta tell people, bro. Do not wash cast iron. Fucking don't use any soap. You just get it hot and fucking wipe it out.
Yeah.
Put some oil in it and fucking get it hot and then wipe it out.
Yeah, it's a whole procedure.
You don't fucking wash cast iron.
No. Yeah, and just don't ever put a hot cast iron into cold water. It might fracture.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a whole...
Yeah,
there's a whole procedure about it, but like I said, it is really, there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. And fucking cast iron, you clean cast iron with heat.
Yeah.
Heat and a fucking oil and a wet rag. And if you ever lose your fucking non-stick abilities, you just got to paint it down with oil, put it in the oven real low. Maybe 200 degrees for a few hours. It'll just kind of... But it's very rare do you lose your seasoning. You really got to fuck up. I've burned it before. Yeah, cast iron's an art. And like I said, that shit's priceless, man. I got that shit off my grandma. I got it through my dad. He got it from her. And I think that shit was from the 40s. Or 30s.
Yeah, it might have been older than that.
Might have been older than that. Yeah.
I
got a lot of it. Yeah. And like I said, it's just priceless. When them people next door died, one of the first thing I did is look to see what they were cooking with. There was no cast iron there. I was like, these motherfuckers. Yeah.
That's so funny. That's like the only thing. It's like, I don't give a shit about any of the other stuff. You got any cast iron in here?
I got the guns, but the guns went with the next of kin and shit. But I had to get the guns out of there, but they weren't really any big deal anyway. There was only one thing that was worth something. It was a Colt 32. It was a Colt 32 in 32 Smith & Wesson long. And it was a revolver from 1904. And it was a 1904 manufacture. With the holster, leather holster. That's worth about $700. And it was about 75% in terms of blue on it.
Yeah, they had a bunch of
it was pretty. The rest of this shit was... There was a Colt... There was a Smith & Wesson Sigma in there, 9mm. That's worth $200. There was a 380 Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, but I never could find it. I found the box, but I couldn't find the pistol.
Wonder if they ever found it.
And then there was a 357 Magnum Taurus. That's not worth anything. And a H&R 22 revolver, 9-shot revolver. That's worth nothing. So that was the only thing in there. And I went, what were they cooking with? And I went fucking no cast iron. I was like,
never mind.
This house is worthless.
Philistines.
It's a beautiful mansion, but they weren't cooking with anything.
It's a nice house. It was like, and it was weird because the family said, because remember we said that, they died and...
They said we can have shit out of there.
They said, well, you can take stuff, like, you can take shit out of the fridge.
Take the food, yeah.
Food, toothpaste, shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, obviously...
Bunch of toilet paper.
Toilet paper, shit like that.
whole case of toilet paper.
Yeah, because they had a bunch of
About
stuff,
25 rolls.
soda stuff. We just took stuff like that, and like I
Yeah.
said, we cleaned their freezer out.
Took care of the cats.
And took care of the cats.
Yeah.
And I was just happy that that was all I was worried about. I was worried about the cats, and I was like, is somebody gonna come get these cats and give them a home? And they finally did get a home.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. But like I don't really, like I said, I don't want anything from. I didn't know them
Yeah.
really, so
Left behind a nice truck, a lot of nice tools, compressor.
wonder if there's a for sales. I haven't seen a for sale sign out there.
No, they'll be over here to clear it out. They're going to hire a company to come and clear all this out and auction it out.
I wonder if the
for
electric
pennies
is
the
still
dollar.
on.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, is it?
It's on. And
You saw the, because yeah, you can
they
see
said
the house
well,
from our
she told me
window.
they were going to keep it on.
Oh, okay.
That they were going to pay for it. And I said, you want to leave the AC on? They're like, yeah, leave it on. They left the AC on.
Well, yeah, you can't turn the AC off. Like I said, it'll mold.
I left it on at 76.
It'll just mold in there.
And then that truck's in there and everything. And there's that motorcycle's in there, which is it's a Vulcan 1600 from the 90s, late 90s. It's not worth anything here, a couple grand. But no, they're gonna fucking hire a company to come in and fucking dispose of all that shit for pennies on the dollar, and they're gonna try to put that house on the market. And the air conditioning systems need to be replaced on it, and fucking it probably needs a new roof, and that's $30,000 to put that house on the market. But that's
Probably, yeah.
But that's a $700,000 house.
Easily.
Yeah, but you got to have money to get money out of it.
It's not, ours is 2-story and theirs is 1-story, but I think theirs is larger. Well, maybe not.
About the same.
I think it's about the same square footage, maybe.
But it's a prettier house, though.
It is nicer looking than
It's
ours.
not on the same amount of property, though. We're almost on a...
That's true. Our property's bigger.
It might be 600,000. It might be the same as this. 600. I think I'm at 625 for this.
And we paid $475.
Yeah, we've made money on this.
Yeah, and the value's already gone up quite a bit. I mean, we've been here, 3 years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's gone up.
And it's gone up a lot.
And it's new ACs and new roof.
Because you got to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to, because like I said, we have 2 ACs, one for downstairs,
And a
one
new
for
kitchen.
upstairs. And we had the kitchen redone.
And a new kitchen.
They did a good job, I will say.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
But it's all been worked out, and the value of the house has gone up, so it's okay.
Yeah, hopefully we'll make money on this.
Yeah.
Grepter says, do they not have kids? Who is the executor of their estate? They did not have kids.
No survivors.
There were.
Brothers.
She had a brother.
Yeah, brother, that was it.
That lived in Indiana, Ohio. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But the executor of the will was like a friend. Was
Yeah.
wasn't she like a friend of theirs?
She's a friend in California who couldn't come out here, so then she got knocked out because she was out of state. There's certain state laws here. The executor has to be in state.
So the people that came and took the cats and
Were friends of hers.
were friends of hers,
Right.
and they got. There's like some legal thing to.
Yeah, legally they become.
Because I went
Next of
over
kin.
and talked to them for a minute. I was like,
It's because they were mentioned on some of the will.
yeah.
So they become. It's their house now. They're gonna sell it.
Yeah, but they need somebody
And
to
the
come in
house
there.
and the car and the vehicles.
Yeah, because they had a couple vehicles also.
Yeah, but there's a lien against the house. All right, so that's got to be worked out. There's a lien against that house of about $100,000,
Okay.
and then there's we think those vehicles were paid for. So that truck it's a good Ford F-150. It's only a couple of years old.
Yeah, it was in good shape.
Yeah.
From what I saw. The other one looked kind of a little bit beat up, but
Yeah, it's a Volkswagen Passat.
yeah. I know it looked a few years old, but
With some crash damage on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be all right. It's worth $4 or $5 probably.
yeah. But like I said, they came here and they seemed nice, and they
took the cats.
They took the kitties.
Yeah.
And so the kitties are in a good home now.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that, because that's really all I cared about. Because they were sitting there saying it's like, well, because they couldn't get here. It was like 2 weeks or something, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, I said, well, we'll go take care of the cats. They gave us the keys, and
Yeah, I'm still kind of overlooking the house.
yeah, I mean, because we can see it
We
from
can
our
see it,
we
yeah.
can see it from our bedroom window, actually.
Yeah, they'll call me if they need anything over there. I don't have
And-
the key to it though.
No, we had the garage door opener, and you
Yeah,
could just go in through
they
it
have it
because it
all.
wasn't locked. But they
I can't get
took
it.
they took all that shit back. But
Yeah.
like we just went over there and fed the cats, but they told us there's like if there's any food or anything that's like perishable kind of shit, we could take that. So like I said, all we took was food and like I said, toilet paper, toothpaste, gum, shit like that.
Motherfucker had a whole bunch of testosterone in
Oh,
there,
and
I
that
think.
too, yeah. He had
Yeah.
a bunch of testosterone.
He was on testosterone. And he
So
wasn't
Tom's like,
taking
"Woohoo,
it.
free
He gave me a
drugs."
bunch of it while he was alive. And then afterwards in the medicine shed, there was like fucking 3 times that.
You were like,
Like, whoo, score.
score.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we also got some free, what you call it?
What?
You got sent some free shit
Oh, yeah. That's
by,
nothing. It's
by
weird shit.
mistake.
Yeah,
I
my
think.
my drug dealers. They sent me some free GLP-1, almost $200 worth of it.
Yeah.
Two bottles of it.
I think because the last order, like
They
it
got
took,
they made some kind of mistake.
the last order took a really long time to get here
Yeah, and
because they were having all kind of, and he was like, man, where's the shit? Well, we got it,
Yeah,
but then
there's-
like a little while later, we got like,
got it again.
we got it again.
And I'm looking through there, and I'm like, man, I got 6 bottles of this shit. I only ordered 4. But it was because they were having. It was during the Chinese Lunar New Year, and they were having the shipping all got backed up, and that particular warehouse must have forgotten that they shipped some to me.
Because
They
it
shipped
because it
again.
took like a long time, and they
Took
they
a
were
long
just like,
time.
oh
They
well,
shipped
just in
again.
case, we'll send you 2 more bottles.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, I'm you know.
I'm not gonna say anything. They've that shit doesn't cost them any money. They don't care. They just don't want to lose any customers.
I mean, I was just glad to get it because I'm
Yeah.
like, we get it a lot cheaper than you can get it here, but
I can get 10.
it's still kind of expensive, so I was just kind of like,
I can
well,
get 10 milligrams for $100. But it's not ready to use. You got to mix it with sterilized water.
yeah, you got to buy
Get it ready-
sterilized water
and
on Amazon
get it ready for injection
and
and
mix
shit.
it.
And it doesn't come in an injector kit. Like the American GLP-1 is for idiots. You can just screw a thing. It's like a little.
It's all
cartridge.
done
It's all
for you.
pre-done.
Yeah.
No, I gotta cook that shit up if I can mix it like you would do anything else. But it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, what
It's
is
4 times cheaper.
yeah.
10 milligrams.
and the
Here's
the
like
water
400.
stuff that you buy from Amazon is only like what, like $13 or something.
Yeah.
Like it's not a big deal.
Some people don't know how to compute things and they don't know how to think. So they go, well,
It sounds too hard.
it's too hard for them to do math.
But it's a tiny injection. It's like you don't even need that.
Yeah, it's a few
much.
drops.
And even that, because what is it? I take 2 milligrams a week,
Yeah,
And that's-
2 milligrams a week.
and that still makes me feel like I want to throw up
Yeah,
like
it's
every
effective.
day.
Yeah,
So I don't even feel like eating most of the
yeah,
time. So I think that's helpful
yeah.
because I'm just like, hey, you hungry, man? Not really. You know what I mean? It's like I kind of
You're hungry, but when you eat, you very quickly are like,
Yeah, it's like sometimes you get hungry, but then you start eating, and then like 3 bites in, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done. Well,
Yeah.
that's what's happened. I don't have a problem drinking. Like I can
Yeah.
go out to the club and I just have all my regular drinks, but like we'll stop for food on the way home because I'm like, yeah, I want some nugs or I want a quarter pounder or something, and then like I'll have like 2 bites and I'm just like, I don't want any more.
yeah,
And then I just put it in the fridge when we get home and I just eat it the next day.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's everybody saying?
Gramther says, yeah, I go to estate sales a lot. 90% of what people own ends up in landfills.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, and it's kind of sad because
sad. Yeah,
we were over there taking care of the cats in the house.
yeah.
And, you know, all their furniture was still there, all their CDs, all their everything. And it was just kind of like, what are they going to do with all this stuff? I feel like
Yeah.
it's just going to get thrown out. And some of
Yeah.
the furniture was pretty nice. And
All right, let me remind y'all we've been on for a couple hours now. Super chats are active. I'm just going to go ahead and pass around the collection plate. If you're having a good time, please buy Jen a drink. If you buy Jen a drink, I'll make sure. Yeah, how much you? So, see, look at that. I gotta go pay for this drink.
he's got to go
I
make
gotta pay
it.
for this drink.
I mean, we already paid for that
Yeah.
vodka, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Camp Guy says, so true, I've probably thrown away 5 figures worth of stuff easy every time we moved. Yeah, I mean, everybody accumulates stuff, obviously. I have a whole office full of fun toys and collectibles and stuff, and I like all my stuff, but I try not. I don't really buy as much stuff anymore. You know, I don't really buy. Like, I used to always buy, like, books and CDs and stuff, and I still do love physical books. I'm not gonna lie. But I was like, man, I really need to stop doing that, because every time I move, it's like I have, like, 4,000 pounds worth of books. And it's getting to be a pain in the ass, but you know what I mean. I do like having them. Thank you very much, Gramthirst. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Super chat's coming. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But,
yeah, this shit.
But, well, and I think, too, because, you know, I think I've said before, but my maternal grandfather was a hoarder. And, I actually, when I was a kid, we lived in his house for a little while, you know, because we were kind of broke. So we lived, like, upstairs in his house. And upstairs was fine because he kept that kind of open for family members that needed to stay somewhere. And so they would live up there. But the ground floor where he lived was like, you know, on Hoarders where they have like just stuff and there's like a path? It was like that.
Yeah.
Like his house was like that. It was full of rats and big spiders. And it wasn't like disgusting. But I am gonna say I wouldn't eat anything out of that kitchen, though.
Yeah. It was fucking bizarre though, man. I'm over there looking at this couple's house, and it's a nice house.
It is very nice.
They're gone. The cats are there. Fucking, the brother's like, yeah, anything you can have anything basically you want out of there. You can have the guns or whatever. This is before the other guys.
Yeah, because it was the brother he didn't want. He didn't want it.
So I took that, but then when it changed custody to the other thing, then
we took all the stuff back.
I gave the guns back to the. He says you can have anything you want out of there, and I'm looking around. Except he wasn't talking about the cars and all that, you know.
Yeah, but just random shit.
And I'm fucking looking around, and I'm going like, man, this is sad to say. This is a nice house, but there's nothing in here that's worth anything.
Like I said, all we took
furniture,
was like,
I wouldn't put this in my house. This over here,
well, it's not really our taste, you know.
Yeah, and they're like, and it wasn't really worth anything either, you know. Fucking,
yeah.
You know, and it was not our taste, and it's not expensive. Nothing's really worth anything. It was all. They were kind of like house poor. They had a really nice house, but they're just. And it's funny. You look at the closet, and there's all these fucking clothes and shit, and there's other people's clothes, and it's just very mundane shit. And you're going like. The whole lives of these people is going to end up just being thrown away as if they never existed. And it's a spooky fucking feeling. And I was going through this weird shit where my dad had died like the year before. We have friends in the scene that are dying.
Because we're all getting old.
Everybody's dying. Now my cat died.
I know, right?
I'm like, fuck, man. We're all dying.
I mean, everyone's dying.
I'm like, we don't have long. You know, and it's just a weird fucking feeling, you know. And it's kind of like it's downer, you know. You're like, man, fucking, this is when we die, all our shit's gonna get thrown out. Although we got a lot of good shit. People are like, oh, this is mine. There'll be some of that, which I'm like, it's funny. And then
I'll be dead. I won't care.
Yeah, you don't care, I guess.
That's how I feel about it. I'm just like, I'm gonna enjoy stuff while I'm here.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't want to burden people after I'm gone, but it's like, most of the time I'm just like, I'll be dead. What the fuck do I care?
We're going to have fucking big high-end sex dolls and all this fucking dildos and shit. Fucking, that's going to be wild. They're
Holy
like,
crap, like if something happened to us and like they came in the house, I was like, what the fuck was going on in here?
These freaky
Why do they have a $1,300 sex doll hanging in their closet?
Yeah. All
what is this about?
Pose and shit, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Why is there a huge horse cock?
Yeah. What is that? What was that all about?
Behind the headboard.
Okay, yeah. Why is there a fucking 2-foot long fucking horse cock in a fucking...
What is this about? I mean, they know what it's about, obviously.
Yeah. We're making porn.
Well, yeah, that's why we have all that weird shit. But like I said, we bought when we were doing the porn.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, High Desert Cave of Saying super chat.
Thank
Have
you.
a drink, Jen. Thank you very much. I think I will.
Try to get Jan drunk.
I mean, you know.
Hey man, if it was R-rated, we could pop them titties out. You'd make even more money.
I probably would. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd pop them out. But we'd lose our channel.
Yeah, they'd be like, nope, not allowed.
Can't do it.
Not allowed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when we were doing porn for a little while, we bought a bunch of just fun. We just wanted stuff that would look cool on camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, some of them are not practical. I'm gonna say.
No.
For practical uses.
No, just for making a cool video.
But yeah, so a lot of them looked good on camera, so that's why we got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So now, so like if anybody comes over,
looking shit.
like if my mom comes over or something like that, we just have to like, because there's like a whole fucking drawer, like that's just all.
Yeah, we could have a whole like
dicks of like all different colors. There's dog dicks. There's horse dicks.
Kind of
there's like purple tentacle
dicks and shit. Everything. Every fucking crazy fucking thing you can think of.
Got all kind of shit in there.
Yeah, some kinky shit.
So it's like
we're wild. We don't give a shit.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's like I probably would have been more bothered by it when I was younger. But that is the number one best thing about getting older.
Is that you
just don't give a fuck anymore.
It's all you have a good sense of humor of all that shit.
Like it doesn't embarrass me at all. Like honestly, even if my mom saw that shit, she'd probably just think.
Your mom would probably laugh.
She'd probably just think it was funny.
Oh yeah. Well, when you have the context.
Yeah.
When you have the context.
I don't know if she knows that we were doing that. My siblings know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if she knows.
Hey, that got us through some fucking hard months.
It did.
Yeah. And we could always go back to it if we have to. So there's an emergency.
Yeah, like we can always do it as a backup. It is. I will say though, and I think I've said this before.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not like you can just jump on and do it. It's a huge pain. They have to like. You got to take a picture of yourself. Take a picture of your driver's license.
Go through the process.
Fill out all these fucking forms. It's it's a nightmare.
And
it took forever.
I pictured that business as like, well, that's not real work. Oh yeah, it is. Man, it's a grind.
It is a grind.
It's a fucking grind.
It's occasionally fun.
Yeah.
But it's for real
Mostly
a job.
Grind. Yeah.
It's a job. You can't just be like, oh, we'll just jump on it. Yeah, you have to like fucking.
The money doesn't make itself. You got to fucking.
You got to get out there.
You got to get there and push it and push it and.
Because there's a lot of competition.
It's always what the market wants, not really what you want, and it's just. It's like any other fucking job, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's just that there's more stigma.
Yeah.
And fucking.
I got a lot more respect, and I didn't have any disrespect for sex workers before. But that gave me a lot more respect for them because I'm like, holy crap, doing this day in and day out.
It's quite a grind.
Yeah, it would really get to you after a while.
Really, you make most of the money off of live streaming, and that involves just sitting around waiting with camera on you.
Yeah, like trying to entice people into your lair.
So you're like the online equivalent of some chick standing on a fucking street corner. Yeah.
Or if you're in Amsterdam in the red light window.
You're in the door. Yeah, you're like that.
You're just like trying to be like, yay, come in here and we'll show you a good time.
Once the actual show starts, it's actually easy.
Yeah.
And what's funny is it's easier if they turn the camera on so you can see who you're dealing with. If you can see who you're dealing with, it's a lot easier. I would think that it would be harder, but it's not as easy because it's this guy.
Weirdly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a person. It's not just like disembodied.
It's not a disembodied fucking just text.
Right.
And so you can get the idea of who it is you're dealing with and everything. It's just and I always thought it was going to be like some fucking troll. Like no, man, they were just like fucking normal dudes. And they were young,
they were just normal.
and they were tended to be good looking. And
I don't remember any like real uggos.
No.
Everybody just was pretty like decent looking.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah, and they have money, and they're just this is their kink, and they don't seem desperate at all. They're just like this is their kink.
They just like it.
They like this camera thing, and they're just talking.
Fair enough.
And fucking you're putting on a show and they're putting on a show and fucking yeah, man, you're doing great, but yeah, turn her over. All right, hold on. Let me get the camera. You know,
it's a group effort.
Yeah. We're having a threesome, bro. Yeah, we're having a threesome.
Yeah, it's like a virtual.
That's just like and it was all fun and games, you know. But actually, that was the easy part. The hard part is sitting there fucking waiting and fucking planning for shit,
and not really sure like what the person was gonna ask for, or if it was gonna be something weird. Or
there'd be some nights who might only make like $40 and work for like 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, you'd be sitting here for like hours.
And then another time you might make $300 in an hour.
Yeah, you never knew.
You didn't know. Yeah.
And like we tried at different times too, because like you had to because of different time zones and shit like that. So you had to like accommodate. So it's like sometimes it's like, oh well, let's do 4 hours,
Right.
you know, with this like in the middle of the day, and we'll do 4 hours in the evening or whatever. And it's just kind of like, but it's definitely a job. It's just like a lot of it's just kind of sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
you get sick of it.
yeah, I'm not gonna say, and it. I'm sorry. It's not that it doesn't make sex less fun. It's just that
it's not really.
It's
sex.
not for you.
Yeah, it's not really sex.
Like, yeah, you're doing sex stuff, but it's like it's not for you. It's not.
Yeah, it's for somebody else.
It's not what you enjoy. It's what they want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's modeling.
Yeah.
I've been an actor before.
Essentially.
It's basically acting and modeling.
Yeah. So you got to just come at it from that point of view. But like I said, it got us through some time when I was unemployed.
Yeah.
You know, so I could actually pay my bills for a few months until I found something else.
You would think older people couldn't do it. No. The older you get and the hotter you are in your age category, the more money you'll make.
Because you're now a niche.
Because you're now a niche. If you're a really hot chick in her 70s, you will make all kinds of money.
Because there's not many of those.
Because there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. You don't have much competition.
Right. You'll actually make more money than a girl in her 20s because there's a shit ton of those.
Because there's a lot of those. Because
Yeah.
it's easy to be hot in your 20s.
Yeah.
Like, and you have to like fucking
Yeah.
claw on. But like I said, I think, and this is true of like anything really, it's always it's always better to find a niche audience and just go with that. If you're gonna try and appeal to everybody, you're never gonna win because it's like everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
And it's just too much competition.
A dude like me, solo, if I went into the muscle daddy category, which is older dude, solo, kind of gay clientele, I'd make a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm sure. You would.
The thing is, it's not easy. I grind on it.
Yeah.
And fucking, fuck that shit, man. It's like something you would do if you had to have it. You know what I mean? But fucking, because there's not many dudes that are nearly 60 that look like I do.
Yeah.
And there's a certain clientele out there who it tends to be a younger gay dude who has an older guy fetish. And and girls like Sally D'Angelo, she's 70 something years old. She looks great for her age. She still looks good. She looks like a wicked witch with big old titties, if you ask me. Her audience is her audience is 20s and 30s. That's who's after her.
Yeah, because
It's
like I
not
said,
old guys,
it's
it's young
a
guys.
fetish.
It's a fetish. Yeah.
But like I said, I think you'll be a lot more successful just focusing on a niche.
Yeah.
Like that, and just kind of like taking whatever you have and like just focusing on that rather than trying to appeal to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to do that and there's
Yeah.
too much competition.
But
it's much better to specialize.
But the Jen would fall in the cougar category, which is 50 plus and fucking real good shape with implants. That's cougar category. And the target market there is 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
It's not old guys.
No.
Old guys are going after the younger ones. Actually, I think they're the
Yeah,
main
you
thing.
don't usually see. I mean, when we were doing the shit, like
It was all younger guys.
I don't remember any older dudes.
No.
They were all in their generally 30s.
30s, yeah.
Or younger. I had a couple that were younger, like
Yeah,
20s.
20s and 30s. And if me and Jen were doing like a couples show, it tended to be fitness guys. A lot of them were jacked.
Almost all bisexual guys.
Jacked bisexual dudes, yeah.
Yeah, that was like our main
Yep.
clientele. Gonna say nicest ones were the British dudes.
Yeah, nice guys.
Very polite.
And a lot of them, some of them were at work.
I love that.
They're in the office.
And they were
sneaking
like,
in.
just like,
They're the boss. He's like,
I'm in my office right
in
now.
my
I'm
office,
not really supposed to be doing it. I'm like,
no, I'm the boss. They're
That's
gonna, like, all right, bro.
I'm like, all right. We won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so
My
funny.
wife can never know. You're married? Yeah, I'm married. You don't tell your wife? Oh, no, she would never understand.
Oh,
So, all right, bro.
y'all don't have that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
That's a shame. You know what I mean?
No, the British guys are very polite.
Yeah, that was our best clients actually.
Yeah.
Other than that one guy, that guy was American.
He's American's fitness guy.
American fitness guy. That guy
Yeah.
was rad. Like he'd be there all the time. He was our best client. Actually.
Yeah, I think
we saw him every
Yeah.
almost every, well, not every day, but every few days he would
Every
turn
few
up.
days, yeah.
And he would stay in for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, yeah.
Talking and shit and fucking, yeah, he was cool.
And like, shit wasn't cheap. Like, you know what I
because
mean?
you guys are great. Yeah, he'd spend a couple $100.
Yeah.
He had money.
Yeah, he had money. And that was his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heidi just said, if I knew when I die, I hide my books in out-of-the-way locations like that cursed videotape in the ring. Oh, and Heidi Desert also said, I imagine some caregiver showing up at Tom and Jen's house when they're super old and getting so freaked out they never come back. I always wondered about that because, yeah, I mean, when you go
here, they would be black chicks. And fucking no, we're so cool with that, man. Because fucking
they would love it, probably. They're like,
hey,
oh my God,
hey.
finally.
Yeah.
Some cool people.
Yeah.
Instead of just regular old people.
Yeah, here all your final care people. They're all middle aged and black chicks. Yeah, and fucking my dad was cool with them with hers. He's like, oh, I love your daddy. You know, it's like, yeah, she's like that. And she was fucking kissing him on the head. You gonna be okay. You know, he gonna go behind the pearly gates and all that kind of shit. You know, he's like, yeah, I'll be out here. So I feel like shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's like that. So I know, you know. But no, it's fucking that particular caregiver was like the sister to the woman who lived across the street from him. So
yeah.
So they all had like
they knew him from
people in common.
Yeah.
So she took care of him in his final like 6 months. He'd fucking get in the car, we're going. He'd take her to fucking go get something to eat because he could drive. But he needed somebody to fucking help him for doing certain things, I guess. I don't know.
Like
But then he got worse and worse. He got worse and worse.
It's like,
yeah,
back over here.
Fucking, he was dying there, and fucking, she was saying, he kissed him goodbye, and she goes, I love you. He goes, I love you too. I'm going soon. I'm done. I'm sick of this shit. She's like, I know.
Yeah.
He goes, I see you on the other side. She goes, I know, baby. Yeah.
I mean, she deals with that shit all the time.
Yeah, she sees it all the time.
Man, fucking bless those ass people. God,
Yeah,
I don't think I could do that every day. I'm
Yeah.
too emotional for that shit.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, my dad was like, I'm sick of this shit.
Well, and my grandmother was like that too.
Yeah.
Like I said, she had stomach cancer and she
Yeah.
was in a lot of pain. And
His last fucking...
she was just like, "Why are they?" She's
Yeah.
like, "Why are they prolonging this shit?" It's
Yeah, I
just
know.
like,
I'd be out. I was outside the room, and he'd yell every now and then, "Just let me die!
Like I said, my grandma was like that too.
Turn it off!"
Yeah.
Because he had all that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you're
Turn
in
it
that
off,
much
just let me
pain
die.
and you know it's not going to get any better.
Yeah. I try to calm him down. I says, "It's gonna be all right, Dad. Hold on. You might get better. What makes you think that?"
Yeah, don't.
So them numbers are looking a little bit better.
Don't bullshit.
Yeah, well, I was kind of bullet, mate.
I know.
So them numbers are looking a little bit better, man. You just, hey, man, just keep your chin up. All right. Yeah, it's just like, you know. He was in and out of it, though.
Yeah.
You know. I didn't want to tell him, hey, you dying.
But he knew though.
Yeah, he knew. Let me die.
Yeah. Like I said, my grandmother was exactly.
Yeah.
She said the same shit. She's like, I
He
don't
was
know.
fighting it.
She's like, I don't know why they're prolonging this.
Yeah, he went down.
She knew
like
what was
a champ.
going on.
Yeah.
So it's. You know
I'm
what I
sick
mean?
of this shit.
Yeah. I could see
I do
it.
my dad's voice.
I know.
I'm sick of this shit.
I'm sick of this shit. They did sound the same.
Nothing but just oblivion. My dad didn't believe. My dad was a Christian and shit until he had that. Till he died, and they brought him back with the fucking heart, fucking thing. This is when they were doing the bypass, though. This was like a couple years before he actually died. And I said, "When you went, did you have an out of body experience or anything when that happened?" He goes, "Hell no, none. You see nothing but just oblivion. Oblivion." I goes, "Yeah, just oblivion." It's just,
I mean, that sounds kind
I
of.
said,
nice
"There's an
too.
afterlife, though. I've seen it." And he goes, "Nah."
He didn't believe you.
No, he didn't believe me. So what about that Jesus stuff? And he's like, nah.
That's pretty awesome.
No,
Your dad was pretty cool, actually.
He didn't believe it after. Nah.
It's like, I've been there. This is-
Nah. This oblivion.
Now I'm kind of curious as to what if no, I'm just saying that what he said about a caregiver showing up at our house if we were old.
Yeah.
And like coming in here, like to me, all the shit I know you can't see a lot of it right now, but it's like to me this is not weird at all.
Yeah.
Like all the horror shit and
Yeah.
and everything like that. It's not weird. I've been like this my whole life, so it's like it's not. And I'm always like kind of surprised when other people think it's weird.
Yeah.
Like when my mom came over, she didn't say anything,
Mhm.
but she came in here and I was talking to her and stuff like that. And I think she was kind of like, what the fuck?
Well, the walls are black and you got all this.
But I like this shit. It's like, I'm not trying to, it's like, you know what I mean?
This
And it's
is-
like, to me, it's not weird. And it's like, and I forget that other people think it's weird.
This is just our studio.
Huh?
This is just our studio.
I mean,
and
it's my office too. And
It's the office
and
and
I said,
studio.
and I want this office to be exactly the way
Me and
I
Jen
want
throw
it to
down
be.
in here, actually.
We do,
Before
yeah.
the show, we were fucking tearing it up.
That's right.
Right over here.
I was like on the exercise bike.
On the
and
exercise bike and everything. I was like, put that booty up on that exercise bike. Man,
It was pretty funny.
yeah. I couldn't control myself.
Well, you came back from the biker
Came back
bar
from the biker bar. I gotta do what I gotta do.
with a couple of.
Yeah.
Although you said it was lame today,
It was lame today, yeah. I had a couple drinks. Fucking Amy was there. But fucking, I was like,
But
"Where
nobody
is
else
everybody?"
showed up.
No, yeah, nobody else showed up. I was the only guy on a
I wonder
motorcycle.
why. That's really weird. Like sometimes Fridays, like everybody shows up, and then
Weather
some Fridays,
wasn't,
like nobody.
weather wasn't
shows up.
right for him.
I don't. It wasn't. I thought the weather was kind of nice today.
It was.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't too hot. It was like just 77 or whatever, and it was pretty. It was kind of sunny.
DVD dress. It's hard work hustling dicks and butts. Yeah, of course.
It is.
Yeah.
Like and like seriously now.
Yeah.
It's mostly just boring.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's just you're kind of sitting around and, you know, people are popping into your little chat room. And
There's a real good channel on YouTube you need to check out. It's called Lizard Hunter. And Lizard Hunter is a dude in California, and I think he goes to Arizona too. And he's on an electric scooter, and all he does is ride around and talk to the hookers. And Lizard Hunter. And every time he goes on there, the girls, he's got regular ones. And they go, oh, I know you lizard, you're the lizard guy. He's like, yeah, yeah. And she goes, oh, no, yeah. And you like, and the girls will be like, oh, yeah, my friend was on your show. And then all of a sudden, her shit exploded. He goes, yeah, you want to do an interview? And she goes, no, I don't want to do an interview. But then she ends up talking anyway. You know, where are you coming from? How long you been here? Listen to Lizard Hunter. And Lizard Hunter, those are streetwalkers. And if you listen to those girls, it's boring for them too. They fucking
well, yeah, I can imagine.
they're just like this shit here, man.
Yeah, because most of the time you're just like waiting around.
Waiting around, and then they have to get into a random car with some dude, and they're
Which
scared
I'd
of
be
this
fucking
dude.
terrified.
Yeah, they're scared of this
That'd be
dude.
fucking
You know, they
terrifying.
don't know this dude. You know.
You know how many serial killers like
yeah,
fucking?
yeah.
No thanks.
You could get killed doing that,
And many of them do.
and they're like only one step away
Braver
from
than
being,
I am.
They're like one step away from being homeless. A lot of them were homeless.
Yeah.
And then they started doing that for something, and they got a pimp and all that, and who gives them a place to live, and they fucking jumping from one car to the next, and Lizard Hunter will talk to him in between cars during the day usually, and like business is slow. They're walking around in fucking basically nothing, in fucking stripper heels.
Yeah.
Over the dirt in fucking rough terrain. It's fucking hilarious when you think about it.
They're gonna have
During
fucked
those
up
like
feet when they get
those
older.
$1, you know those $1 fucking stretchy porn looking.
Yeah.
They're like that. It's like it costs $1. They get them, and with no underwear, just that. And stripper heels, you know, $30 to $40 stripper heels, over fucking rough terrain, no socks, fucking dirt.
They said their fucking feet must be killing
Yeah, their
them. at
feet
the
must
end
be
of the day.
killing
That's
them,
all
yeah.
I can think about.
And they'll be like walking along the street and shit, fucking in that shit, all fucking day.
Like I said,
damn.
respect. I don't know if I can.
Yeah. Like,
That's-
where you
that's a
going?
hard
I ain't
fucking
going
line.
anywhere, you know. And it's funny. They're like, their physical conditioning ranges from really bad to okay. You know what I mean? Fucking, but they all have that same uniform on, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, like underwear and fucking stripper heels. In broad daylight, in traffic.
Yeah. Hey, you got to bring in the customer somehow.
Yeah.
Some dude might be on his lunch break
Yeah.
and be like, "Hey, I can get
Yeah.
some strange while
yeah.
my wife's at
Jump
home."
in the car. Yeah.
Yeah, get in here.
Yeah.
Sure, it happens.
Yeah. And then she's negotiating. I don't know how much they're charging. It couldn't be much.
I don't know how much they charge nowadays.
Yeah, the comments are fucking hilarious though. You know, fucking just go on Lizard Hunter. You'll see it. And the comments are funny. Like guys are making comments. I bet you in that heat she fucking smells horrible. That just shit like that. You know what I mean? Some of it's mean. You know, some of it's funny though.
Well,
too.
of course it is.
Some of it's funny. Actually, some of them have like fan bases. Oh, she's okay. You know, that kind of shit. You know, she's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what.
that poor girl. That type of deal.
I know, right? It's just kind of that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? DVD Dragon says Cyber Hag Maxing for the win.
Yeah.
We're talking about Camp Guy was talking about books, and he says where the red fern grows. The first time I realized a writer could affect me on a deep emotional level, I was like 9 years old when I finished it. Man, we read that book in school. I don't remember what grade I was in. Holy crap! There wasn't a dry eye in the fucking classroom. I don't know why they made it, and we had to watch the movie too. Like, we read the book and they made us watch the movie. I'm like, why? Why are you doing this to us? It's torture. You know what I mean? Ugh. What a sad, sad fucking book that is. I don't know, man. Now I'm just kind of thinking about all the fucking books and movies and shit they made us read back in school back in the day that were all about dogs getting killed and...
Oh, what you talking about?
Ugh. Where the red fern grows.
Oh, yeah.
God. That was one of the saddest fucking things I ever read. I still can't do... Like I said, even nowadays, and I'm a big horror person, but it's just kind of like, man, if a fucking kitty or a dog like dies in the movie, fuck that. I can't even watch it. Kill all the people you want. I don't care about that, but like, you know what I mean? I don't care about them killing the people. Leave the animals alone. God damn it. High Desert says I still haven't read that book or seen the movie. I mean,
Where the red fern grows. It sounds familiar. It does have
it's
something to do
so
with the dog.
fucking sad.
Didn't it have something to do with the dog?
Yes.
What, do they have to kill a dog?
Yes.
Why did they have to kill a dog?
I don't remember. Well, there was also Old Yeller. Now, Old Yeller, I think they had to shoot the dog. Where the red fern grows, I think the dog... Didn't the dog get sick and die? Or I can't remember. But it's like dog death. You know what I mean? And I have a hard time with that. Like I said, I can watch people get killed in horror movies all day long. But something bad happens to a cat or a dog, I'm just kind of like, I get really, really upset. You know? And actually, it doesn't even have to be a cat or a dog. Could be a bird. Could be, what was that Dario Argento movie where somebody squished a gecko? I can't watch that.
Did they do it in real life?
I don't know. Knowing the Italians, probably. It bummed me out some. I can't remember what movie it was. It was one of his movies from the 90s. But it bummed me out so much because I had a gecko like that.
Yeah.
Like I had a pet. It was a tokay. And I had one like that.
What you doing,
Fucking asshole that gecko was. But I loved him anyway.
What's up, Pookie?
They bark like dogs. Isn't that funny?
They bark?
Yes.
No shit.
They do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they make little barky noises.
You doing, Pookie Pants?
Oh, look at Pokey. Oh, get up here, little chubs. Hey.
You are so chubby. All day long, you were in my face. In my face all day long, trying to get attention.
That's how she does.
No, she's just constant attention whore.
She is a daddy's girl.
Yeah, just constantly, daddy, daddy, daddy.
Oh my god.
No, she wrestles. If I'm on a tablet, she's, oh, hell no. She's got to get in between my face and the tablet. She tries to cover the tablet up. Stop all that, these lights.
Stop looking at that.
Stop
Look
looking
at
at
me.
that. Yeah, right.
She's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, she's funny.
Haida says, is it Hachi or Hachi? Is the worst for dog dying movies. Okay, so I know to avoid that then. John Gora says, Sam Fuller's White Dog is a real tearjerker. Man, you know what? One of the worst... You know I love Jack Ketchum, right? He was the guy that wrote Girl Next Door, among many other things. And he wrote a book called Red. And I would say it was almost kind of like a proto John Wick, because it's like about an old guy who has a dog named Red, and these douchebag teenagers like kill the dog like for no reason, just to be douchebags. And then the old guy like goes on this kind of campaign of revenge against, like, he tries to do it the right way, at first, but that's not working out. So he's like, all right, I'm going scorched earth on the motherfuckers. And I had a really hard... It took me a long time to even read that book because I love Jack Ketchum. But I used to see that one and I'm just like, I don't know, man. That's going to... Ugh. I mean, the shit happens like early in the story. But that fucked with me a lot. I did a review of it like a long time ago. Like over on my book review thing. But... I don't know. I can't deal with fucking animal death. Like I said, I don't care about people dying in movies. Well, that's not true. Like, it depends on if the character development is good or not. Like, I've been upset by a person dying in a movie, but usually not. I don't usually get as upset as I would if it was an animal. You know what I mean? Yeah, Haida said Hachi is a movie based on the Japanese dog that waited for his owner for 7 years after his owner died at work. But it's set in modern America. I couldn't stop crying during that movie. Yeah, see, I don't... Even, remember, like, when we reviewed the movie Good Boy? The movie that was, like, from the point of view of the dog? Even, like, the end of that... Dog doesn't die. Like, the dog is fine. But, even the end of that kind of got me. Just because the dog, like, was so... trying to save its owner, you know what I mean? And he didn't really know what was going on. And that kind of upset me. So, you know what I mean? Haida says, also, you might want to be careful watching the Thai horror movie, The Medium. A poodle goes into the pot in that movie. Yeah, I don't think I could. I don't think I'm going to watch that. Wait, did I see that movie? I think I saw that movie.
The animal death and animal cruelty in a movie, it's always a cheap shot.
That's what I mean.
It's always a cheap shot.
That's kind of why it pisses me off.
Yeah.
And I feel like, not so much now, but I feel like a lot of more modern horror movies will do that just to...
It's a cheap shot.
Because they know that it gets to people like me. Like, they're like, look, we know we don't care, you don't care if people die, which I don't.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, oh, well, we're going to kill the kitty or the dog.
I saw that Cannibal Holocaust fucking Ferox bullshit. As soon as that dude...
Cannibal Holocaust, that was
Yeah. As soon as that dude fucking killed that quad.
Well, and they killed those animals for real.
I was like, man,
That
was
big
a real
turtle
thing.
and all. Yeah, fuck that.
That dude stuck that stick into that quadamundi, and I was like, nope. I turned that and said, I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah,
that was
that's
uncalled for.
Well, like I said, and that's fucked up enough. I don't even like the fake shit.
Yeah.
I don't even like the fake shit.
And I didn't even really get through it to where he stuck it in there. It was still alive. And I was like, no, I ain't watching that. I'm not going to do it. It's easier for me to fucking see if it's people. Like, you know, I see fucking dudes gunning other dudes down and fucking security camera. I'm like, yep. Because it's understandable. And and everybody involved knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So they're kind of
I think that's why it's not as upsetting.
They're willing participants. These are animals. They don't even know.
They don't know.
They don't even know they're in a movie. All right, so
they don't know what's going on. I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Like I said, even if it's fake, I don't like it. Because if it's fake, they're just doing it to get a rise out of people because they know that a lot of horror fans, especially, are kind of inured to people getting killed in movies. So they're like, well, we're just going to do the next best. We're going to kill a kitty or a baby or something like that. Which I don't even care as much if they kill a baby because it's not real, like I said. But I don't know.
I've even seen stuff out of Brazil.
The animal shit I can't watch.
I've seen stuff out of Brazil where a dude comes up to his girlfriend and's fucking fighting with her. She's responding back. She's talking shit back, and then he pulls out a gun and fucking shoots her, kills her. And that's easy for me to watch because I'm just going like, this dude's giving off fucking warning signs. Why are you going to let this dude kill you? You know what I mean? Fucking every video I've seen of a murder from security footage, almost all of them, there was almost like fair warning. It was like, don't you see that dude's getting ready to kill you? But some people are just, I don't want to be a victim blaming.
I mean, they think it's probably not going to happen.
They don't think it's going to happen.
It's kind of surreal, like to think somebody's actually going to kill you.
Yeah, and it's just like, don't you? And in that particular case I was thinking of, it was her boyfriend. So she thinks that she dumped him. You know what I mean? He comes back and he's fucking pissed off, and he pointed a gun at her, and then put it down. I'd have been long gone. He pointed a gun back up at her and shot her.
See, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, and it's like that's kind of the shitty thing about. Because I think like a lot of people are like, well, why don't women just leave abusive men? Because that's when they kill you, when you leave them.
Yeah. But still, she had that gun in her hand. I'd have fucking run. She didn't even run. She sat.
She
there
probably didn't think. Maybe he'd done it before.
Yeah, she didn't
You
think
don't
he was
know.
gonna do it.
Maybe he'd done it before,
Yeah,
and she was
maybe.
just like, yeah, he's done this shit before. Like he's
Yeah.
not really gonna do it.
Yeah, he did that time.
You know what I
Fucking shot her
mean?
right in the
But like I
chest.
said, ugh,
Yeah.
you don't know. So
And you look at the dude, and he was a bitch. Total bitch. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, you bitch, motherfucker.
well,
You know what I mean?
don't
Fucking-
matter. Gun in
just
a bitch's
just a
hand
bitch.
works just
Yeah,
as well.
bitch, motherfucker. Didn't even have, if you wanted her dead, if you didn't even use your hands. Just use that tool. You know what I mean? You didn't need that gun. Could have done that with your hands. But you took the easy
Or
path.
why don't you just let her break up with you like a normal ass fucking person?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you wanted, you know what I mean? You're such a bitch that you used the gun to kill her. And if you really want to kill her, what, you're not man enough to use your hands? Because you're strong enough to do it. But no, he wanted it to be easy. You know? Just, it's a bitch move. That's a super bitch move.
Well, yeah.
Super bitch move.
Heider says, I watched Cannibal Holocaust to the end. I don't think it clicked for me until later. Those animals were real. Yeah, there was a huge... Actually, Cannibal Holocaust is kind of notorious for... It is very important to horror history because it's technically the first found footage movie.
It's supposed to be actually a pretty good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
However, I will say, like I said, the Italians did not give a fuck. And there was animal cruelty in just not just that one. I think that's the most notorious one. But...
Chopping animals apart while they're alive, man.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's. I know they just did it to be shocking or whatever. It's the 70s.
It's just, but it's a movie. It's not. It's,
But it's not. Yeah, it's just a fucking movie.
yeah.
But the thing about Cannibal Holocaust, and I'm sure you probably know this, but the shit was so realistic because the animal deaths were real that a lot of them, they all got hauled into court because they thought it was a snuff film. I will note that even the people getting killed in that does look real realistic. And the fact that the animal deaths were realistic, so you could be forgiven for thinking that they were killing people for real also. So they had to like haul the actors in here, be look, they're fine. We didn't really kill them. It's cool. But yeah, they got in big trouble for that. Even now, I'm not sure about nowadays. Maybe some that's in the UK could tell me, but in the UK you can get that movie now, but I think they've taken all the animal cruelty bits out. Which, honestly, I don't believe in censorship generally, but that doesn't bother me that they took that shit out. Because don't really kill animal. Look,
I wouldn't mind actually seeing it with that removed out of it because they said that the rest of it's actually pretty good.
it is a good movie. Yeah. I will say that. But that did not 100% did not need to be in there. Yeah. Honestly, I'm even mad about. We even watched like some shitty like 70s eco horror, like Kingdom of the Spiders and what was the one with the rats? Food of the Gods.
Food of the Gods. They're shooting the rats with fucking pellet guns.
Yeah, and some of the rats like they drowned them for real.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, ma'am, I don't like that.
Rats are vermin, but you gotta understand you're doing this for a movie.
It's a movie.
You don't have to kill animals for a movie.
Rats are very intelligent.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't like in Kingdom of the Spiders that they actually did step on some of those tarantulas for real. That is not.
Yeah, and the dude that
not cool.
The dude that leased those tarantulas out, he was told that the tarantulas wouldn't be harmed. They fucking crushed a lot of those.
They did.
Yeah,
and I forgot. Yeah. I rewatched it because there was a riff tracks of it that came out a while back. A lot of them. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. I was like, "Stop it! What are you doing?" Yeah. Oh, I was so mad.
Yeah, they were fucking.
Because I hadn't seen that for probably like 20 years.
Yeah, they were pet tarantulas from a dude who bred a bunch of them. Yeah.
I can't even kill a spider in the house. Like,
I can.
I mean, you can,
but I wouldn't kill a tarantula. That's big.
I like spiders.
And they're
now I will absolutely kill a cockroach.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like cockroaches.
I don't think I'd actually step on a tarantula.
Why would they're massive?
They're too massive, right?
It's like stepping on a mouse.
It's like stepping on a mouse, right? Yeah.
And I wouldn't do that either. Mice are cute. Tarantulas are cute. I wouldn't. They're all fuzzy and shit. Yeah. So I had forgotten about that, and I was just like, I had forgotten about it too when I watched Food of the Gods. I did a video. Goddamn. I think it's over on my other channel, the Scare Salon, and I did like I did Food of the Gods and Empire of the Ants. And I think I mentioned in that video that I hadn't seen Food of the Gods since I was a kid. And I had forgotten that it looked like they actually did some bad shit to some of those rats. Like, I think some of them drowned for real. I think they shot some of them for real. And I was not happy about that. Especially for a movie as shitty as that one is. I forgot how shitty that movie is. Although the thing about Food of the Gods is that it's so stupid that it's, like, kind of entertaining just because of how fucking stupid it is. But I was, like, not really excited about it. I will say that Empire of the Ants, I hadn't seen that since I was a kid either. That one, although the end of it is hilarious, in the middle, it's very boring. I had forgotten how boring that movie was. They're both the same. They're both supposedly based on H.G. Wells stories. They were both directed by Bird Eye Gordon, who, of course, did a lot of the Big Bug monster movies in the 50s. And so I will say that Food of the Gods is a lot more entertaining just because how stupid it is. But like I said, the animal cruelty really kind of left a bad taste.
I've been
in my
listening
mouth.
to a lot of audiobooks lately. Conan stuff from Robert E. Howard, fucking Solomon Kane. Listen to some Lovecraft, listen to some Smith. But I listened to some fucking H.G. Wells too. I listened to Time Machine. That's a badass fucking book.
Yeah, I like that
Wells
book.
is a very good writer. He can pull you in. He's not overly wordy. You can tell he's not being paid by the word. He's not padding the story out. Howard's padding the story out a little bit. I mean, he's good at it, but he's just trying to make more money. They were paying him by the word.
Yeah.
But H.G. Wells is extremely slick. Extremely slick. And Time Machine was really good. That's the first one. I want to do War of the Worlds next.
Yeah.
But that's like 4 hours long. But still, that's probably a really good book. I never read it.
I did, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
John Gore says, I was watching 1939's Rules of the Game today. Lots of pheasants and bunnies got blasted for real in that during the hunting scenes. Yeah, it's like back
Those are
in
game
those...
animals, though. They're eating
I mean,
them.
yeah, but like back in those days,
Yeah.
it's like they didn't have a thing where it's like, why would you put that in a movie? Like, you wouldn't be allowed to do that nowadays, and rightfully so, because I don't want to fucking see that.
I got no problem killing game animals. Game animals are always they have high reproductive rates, so there's many of them are born and they're being eaten. So at least their deaths are giving life to another creature. What we're talking about here at Cannibal Holocaust and other shit, they're wantonly killing animals that you can't eat.
Yeah.
They're dying for nothing. Basically.
Yeah, just for shock value.
They're just
a
for shock
movie.
value. Now, someone said, well, they kind of die for nothing in the wild. They're eaten alive. Yeah, but the other
True.
animal is getting nourishment from that, so he
Yeah.
can live and raise their children. They were just killing animals and throwing them away to the maggots to eat them. You know, they try to make money off of their deaths and shit. No, that's just not. That's not correct.
Not cool.
That's not how you're supposed to do shit.
Not cool.
No.
You know?
But no, I've killed many game animals, but we ate them,
Yeah.
and they were being culled. They were ready to kill. They'd already reproduced. They'd lived a life already. When you domesticate an animal, it's a trade. Like beef, cows, they can live a life of leisure. They don't have to hunt. You get fed. They don't have to run from predators. And then when time comes, their lives are sacrificed for food. But they had children, so the next generation was already grown.
And hopefully you were killing them in a way that they don't realize what's going on.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. You know, fucking. And what happens to them in nature is that they're eaten alive
True.
by big cats or dogs. You know, wolves. So they're not being eaten alive, and they didn't have a life of struggle for survival. They lived leisurely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any problem at all with ethical hunting. You know, if you're eating what I'm not a big fan of, like, just trophy hunting, because that seems pointless.
They're killing shit that you can't eat.
That you can't eat.
Like bears don't taste very good.
Yeah, why would you do that? Because you think it makes you look like a badass,
Yeah,
or that's fucking lame.
Yeah, and why are you killing raccoons? Raccoons don't taste good, and those are little trash pandas. They're friendly little creatures. And I wouldn't kill any big cats.
No.
Mountain lions and shit. They don't taste good, and it's a cat.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't kill coyotes or anything like that. You know, it's a dog.
Yeah.
You know, but they got guys that kill that shit for no real logical reason. It's a big hunter mentality thing, and that's not really what it is. You really want to fucking be a big hunter? Kill a man, an armed man in combat. Join a military or a gang, a drug cartel. Go kill another guys from another cartel. Those are real dangerous predators. That's what the Predator is all about. The Predator in that movie, he came down from another planet to kill dudes that had guns.
You know, it's more of a challenge.
Yeah, that's more of a challenge. A dude, somebody that's like you. What the hell are you? What the hell are you? Yeah, I'm a monster, just like you. Yeah, that is. Fucking bear, they're not really a big challenge.
They're not armed.
Not when you're armed.
And they're not doing anything to you.
Yeah, you're not their normal food.
No.
If
They're not going to eat you unless you fuck
sick.
with them.
Unless they're sick or they're old, they might. It just depends. It's hard to say. Brown bear and grizz, black bear, they're not really interested in you.
They just want the shit out of your fridge.
They just want garbage cans and refrigerators. they take the path of least resistance. I scared black
I feel
bear.
that.
I scared black bear off. I was fucking working on a bike one time. Black bear was looking at me and said, "Hey, how you doing, bro?" He was looking in the garage, and black bear saw me. He was like, "Oh shit," and ran. I said, "Where you going?" I was going to pet you. All you gotta do is be friendly to a black bear, and it'll run.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many of them around here, but in Sanford, where we lived in Sanford, even though ironically it was kind of more built up over there, but we used to see black bears all the time.
Yeah.
In the driveway.
Yeah.
Just waltzing up to the house, waltzing around the neighborhood.
Easiest way to get rid of a bear is to walk up to it and try to meet it, and it'll go,
oh shit.
Oh shit.
I'm busted.
Because you're obviously not food. You just don't act like food. They'll run.
Black bear will generally only attack you if you're like in their way, or
you trap them,
or you trap them somehow.
Yeah.
Then they might, but it's like they
won't kill you.
No.
They'll just knock you out of the way.
Yeah, they're just like, well, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So they don't mean to. They're not super aggressive.
Yeah. They're not malicious.
It's not like a grizzly that'll just tear your face off and eat part of you.
Yeah, grizz. Get a wrong grizz at the wrong time. You might be fucked. Depending on how hungry that grizzly is.
Holy crap! Have you guys ever seen the horror movie Backcountry?
Yeah.
Which is based on a true story, which is about a grizzly bear attacking a couple while they were camping. Holy crap! That was horrifying. It like eats the dude partially, and like she sees it. Ugh.
But you can't stereotype all grizz. They had that dude that was going out and fucking meeting all the grizzly bear. Now eventually he got eaten. But he predicted which grizzly bear would eat him.
Yeah, so even he knew.
He was like,
that one's kind of an asshole.
he goes, well, there was a grizzly bear that was old.
Yeah.
And not eating well, and he's like, if I get killed, it's gonna be that one. But the rest of them, he was able to like kind of befriend.
Yeah.
Come on, hey, how you doing? Hey, man, yeah, I'm your friend. Yeah, I'm your friend. He befriended most of them except that one. That one got hungry and was like, yeah, I'm too hungry to be your friend, and ate him and his girlfriend.
And his girlfriend too.
And it was an sick old grizzly.
Yeah, they made that. Werner Herzog made that documentary, Grizzly Man, and I've heard. This is what I've heard. That there's audio of him
screaming, telling run. Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Like Werner Herzog heard it, and he was basically like, I don't want anybody to hear that. It was like the most horrible thing ever, because you like heard him dying, and you could hear his girlfriend's voice, like she was fucking freaking out and shit like that.
He was eating him alive.
Yeah, but like he listened to it because he was making the documentary, but he's like, yeah, don't release that. You know what I mean? Which,
yeah, you know, a lot of people make fun of that guy, but he died doing what he liked. He liked bears, and he went out and he made friends with all those bears, and he was right. He said that, you know, you can make friends with bears, but that bear right there is a dangerous bear.
Well,
if I mean, get killed, it's going to be that one.
At least he knew that was a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's always going to be like, oh shit, this is happening now.
Yeah.
But it's like he wasn't clueless.
He was in nature.
you know.
And there was a bear out there that was getting old and weak and wasn't eating.
Yeah, you never know.
And you were and you were something that was small enough for him to eat. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't eat his normal food.
You just look like a big old shish kebab walking around.
You're like, because you don't have a lot of meat on you, and really a bear would really more like want to be polite and be social. They are a social kind of creature, but they know what's food. I mean, they'll attack wild boar and deer, and they scavenge too. But they do recognize that some creatures have personalities. Well, basically what he was doing when he was meeting these bears, he was presenting himself as another bear.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm a bear too. I'm a person like you. I'm just meeting you. Like, okay, yeah, we're being good. It'd be the same thing as like me saying, yeah, that bear, he's a cool dude. He's a dude. He's a person.
Yeah.
So he was just doing it in the other way around. Like, yeah, I'm a bear. I'm a bear just like you.
Just not as furry.
I'm just smaller bear. I'm a small bear. We're hanging out. Yeah. And
I got shaved.
Yeah, and he evidently made friends, and they got it on video. Him making friends with all these fucking bear that would eat a person normally, but he was good with bears. And he was untrained. He trained himself, but he had a good feel for animals. So I have respect for him. He was unwise.
Yeah.
Because it's only a matter of time before you run into the wrong bear. And he knew that.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing. He was so much into it, he kind of didn't care, but he got his girlfriend killed.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he wasn't clueless.
No.
Like, he knew that was a possibility.
He knew he knew it was a possibility. It was an eventuality. Eventually, It's just like if you're walking around in New York, eventually you're going to run into a bad dude. Eventually, he ran into a bad bear. It was a sick old bear who would eat anything it could find. It wasn't even a mean bear. Some of them he says, this guy's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
But he was able to walk away from him.
Animals are just like people.
Yeah.
Like, they have different personalities.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not all a hive mind.
Yeah, some of them he was talking to this. He's, oh, this is a cool bear. This is a cool bear. He's not caring. But this guy, he's okay. But I don't know about him all the time. I'm not really down with him that much. He's kind of an asshole, but he's all right for now. And then
Yeah. Like I said, it's the same with any animal.
Same with any person.
I was just kind of like, I've read a couple books by people that spend a lot of time with like gorillas and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're kind of the same. They're like every single one of them has a different personality.
Yeah.
Like some of them are really cool and can hang, and like some of them are kind of dicks.
Yeah.
It's just they're just like people. Everybody's they're all personalities are different.
So what do you think? It's probably almost about time, huh?
Yeah, it's getting close to 11.
All right, we'll go ahead and shut it down.
So I guess we'll go ahead and shut it down for the evening. Yeah, I got to go out tomorrow. It's like, hopefully my voice wasn't too bad. Like, I did cough a little bit, but it's a lot better than it was on Wednesday. It's just a little bit backed up. But yeah, so thanks everybody for hanging out with us this evening and having discussions about whatever. And thank you very much for your super chats. And hopefully you guys have a good rest of your Friday night. And hopefully you guys have a good weekend. And we'll be back on Monday night for a movie review. Not sure what movie it's going to be. I got a whole list, and you guys gave me some more recommendations. But we'll see like which one we're going to do on Monday. But yeah, so everybody have a good weekend. And we will see you guys again on Monday night. Good night.